55-45. That's my
All right,
guess.
we're live now officially. So
Wait, what?
we're live now. We
Oh,
weren't
there we
before.
go.
We were just talking.
Yeah,
There we
let's
go.
go. We're live. We love
Nevada
Buckeye
man in
politics.
chat. Let's go.
Of course, it's Nevada man. No, can we talk about the elephant in the room, that being Bob Good, real quick?
Yeah, we can talk about that. We have time.
No, because like all these Freedom Caucus people on Twitter are having meltdowns that Trump endorsed the primary challenger to Bob Good. But it's like Bob Good openly endorsed DeSantis. Like it's not like Bob Good was a totally normal Republican that didn't do anything that would like anger Trump. He objectively did. He endorsed DeSantis. So in other words, he endorsed a primary challenger to Trump. And now everyone's like, how could Trump endorse a primary challenger to him? You know what I mean? That's how it is. And if Bob Good was good enough of a representative, I think he could win even without Trump's endorsement. So,
Yeah, I mean, I like Bob Good. I hope he wins, but I just don't really care that Trump endorsed against him. Like, I mean, it's kind of expected. Like, what did you think was going to happen if you support DeSantis?
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about Bob Good, so.
He's the chair of the Freedom Caucus now.
Oh.
I'm not a big fan of the Freedom Caucus. I think they're too fiscally conservative and socially conservative on some stuff. Yes, Bob Good did turn into Bob Bad. Honestly, don't care about that primary though. Like,
I'm more concerned about the Gonzalez Herrera primary.
Yeah, I really want Herrera to win this, but I don't think he's going to.
Well, I mean, if Dade Phelan loses, I'll be happy.
Yeah, Phelan's going down no matter what.
Yeah, I think he'll probably lose.
Well, he got like 43% in the first round and came in second. Like, he's not going to win the runoff. I highly doubt he will. Imagine Phelan wins, but Herrera also wins. That'd be the most cursed. Like,
knowing how 2024 has been, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, it's funny though because Phelan actually represents part of a county that was Obama in 2012, but then Trump in 2016. It's Beaumont. It's kind of odd. It's like a very working class part of Texas.
Is that in East Texas?
Yeah, it's right on the border with Louisiana.
Okay,
on the Gulf. Yeah. It's like the Rust Belt of Texas, kind of. It's very working class,
isn't it? It's pretty ancestrally Democrat too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Like I said, it was an Obama-Trump county. I think Bush may have even lost it. Let me look. 2004.
Eastern Texas has always been kind of weird politically.
Yeah, it voted for John Kerry and Al Gore. But then Trump won it in 2016 and 2020. It's kind of...
Did it flip to Obama? I'm guessing it did.
Yeah. Well, no, it went to Kerry.
Yeah, did Obama win it?
Yeah, Obama obviously won it. Trump flipped it in 2016. He won it again.
Well, it's in the South. I thought maybe it was like one of those like Kerry McCain counties.
No, it's not. No, it's not like one of those counties that's bolted right. It's only like Trump plus 5 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was like Trump plus 2 in 2016 and Trump plus 5 in 2020. I can look at the Beaumont County, Texas. Also, it's totally fine if you guys aren't following it, but like, it's pretty big. It's a pretty big foreign election. There's actually a lot of them coming up, but the UK. Have you guys
Yep. I've been following that closely.
Man,
the Tories are so screwed.
It's so funny though, because like in the UK, their politicians, they're both debating who's the more anti-immigration candidate. Meanwhile, in the US, like Biden's calling Trump a fascist for just wanting to like stop illegal immigration, and then like Sunak and Starmer are like debating who will take in less legal immigrants.
It's weird. Starmer I don't understand British politics as a whole because the Labour Party is like, they seem more right wing on some things, although I doubt it.
All of it's for show though. Both parties suck. Reform UK.
I'm rooting for Reform, but because it's the best they got.
No, it's not. They're literally
Really?
just the Tories 2.0. They suck too. I would vote Labour before I'd vote Reform UK. Because someone actually pointed a good thing out. Reform UK is just the Tories when they're out of government. That's all it is.
I mean, without Farage heading the party, they're kind of screwed.
Well, even Farage, like he was good on Brexit and immigration, but like outside
Well, that's
of that,
better. That's better than what Britain has now.
Yeah,
I
for
can tell you
Britain,
that
he's
much.
not terrible.
yeah, it's not. England isn't too far gone compared to other countries, though.
I don't know.
compared to
I'd
Canada,
say
compared to Canada, it definitely isn't. Like,
Well, yeah.
England is one of the
Yeah.
most anti-immigration countries in the Western world.
I think there was a poll this morning that
Yeah.
came out from Britain. Even most Labour supporters agree that there's been too much multiculturalism.
Like, yeah, that's the thing with England. So, like, you see a lot of it, but it's backfiring big on the general public. Like, compare it to Ireland, where it's like they don't have a single major anti-immigration party. You know what I mean? Like, the UK, both the left and right are kind of running on we need to limit immigration. Like, the only parties really standing in favor of it are like the Greens, who have like one seat, and I don't know, what is the SNP's view on it?
The SNP to me makes no sense as a party.
They're falling apart.
They're
Like,
they're pro Scottish independence, but they're also pro EU and pro NATO. So it's like what?
it's funny though, because like now the ability for Scotland to become independent has like plummeted because it came out that Scotland, even if it became independent, wouldn't even meet the requirements to rejoin the EU. Like it's because they don't have nearly a big enough economy on their own. So like
I mean no one cares about Scotland. So
yeah, they're just doing their own thing. No, but like a bunch of people left because they thought the party went too woke, and they founded the Alba Party, which is like just the SNP but anti-trans. Like that exists now. It's literally the same party. It's just anti-trans.
this is why I try not to comprehend British politics because I don't understand how a party can call themselves conservative but not conserve anything. Like they don't conserve the cultural identity of Britain. They don't conserve social conservatism. They only conserve tax cuts and deregulation. Like
no, they don't even do that, dude.
Oh, they don't?
Yeah, what's even the point of the Tories?
Like I'd forgive them on their horrible domestic policy if they were at least very like anti-immigration. Like I'd at least like
they're
forgive them a little bit.
rhetorically anti-immigration, but they don't. They're just useless. They're ineffective. That's the thing. Wait, we have results already?
Yeah, but not from races that really matter.
Yeah, but it's only been closed for 4 minutes. That's crazy.
Oh, we have one in the 12th district. Craig Goldman is beating John O'Shea. I know people wanted, like the MAGA people on Twitter wanted John O'Shea to win.
Is he related to Joe O'Dea?
Maybe. I don't know. I'll look him up. I don't know. This is like the other U.S. House election. I don't know anything about it.
Also, how's Ron Hanks going to do in that Colorado district?
Dude, I can't wait for the Colorado primaries. They're going to be so funny.
I know.
Is Boebert expected to win that seat?
I think there was a poll she was up in. I think.
Well, I know she'll win the general. I'm just talking about the primary.
No, I mean like in the primary. I think she was up in a poll.
I don't.
Is she running in the Eastern District or the Colorado Springs District?
No, the Eastern one. I'm pretty
sure. Yeah,
sure.
because if she was running in Colorado Springs, she could lose. That. Yeah, she would make that race like a toss-up.
I really don't want her back in the House. She's just all she is a problem child.
Well, 90% of these Freedom Caucus people just suck. Like, I'm sorry, it's a fact.
Like the only one that I can tolerate is Matt Gaetz for the most part.
No, Mary Miller's decent too.
Mary Miller's fine.
I don't know. I don't really.
No, Gaetz isn't good at all.
I don't know. I don't mind him.
He's a schizo. I don't like the schizos. And wasn't he like? Didn't he do a bunch of stuff to kids, or was that the?
No, that was
a Democrat.
Disproven.
That was a Democrat lie.
It was alleged.
Well, there were like trials and stuff, though. Like,
yeah, and then it got proven.
Well,
that
there's
he didn't
also
do
trials
anything.
against Trump, but does that mean he's guilty?
Well, no, but it's like Trump's under trial for like paying someone to cover something up. Like being on trial for that and being on trial for like doing the things Matt Gaetz was accused of are two very different ballparks, if you know what I mean.
They were. He got found not guilty, I believe.
It's true, but like it was like I don't even think there was like a trial. He was like just found not guilty. He wasn't indicted or anything.
I know, but you still, I'm just not.
It's not good optics, but I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
he was found not guilty, so.
No, it's
Whatever.
great optics, I think.
Oh yeah.
That's what I want in my candidate.
Well, I mean, in the Democratic Party, that pretty soon that's going to be. Oh, we have results from the Herrera race. Herrera's up by 3.
No way.
Herrera's up.
No
Very
way,
little
dude.
votes,
Oh, only
though.
1% in though.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah, Herrera's done. Like, there's 2 rural counties that are coming in at 60% Gonzalez. Yeah, he's done.
Where are you seeing that?
On New York Times.
If you click see full results.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
I'm
okay.
seeing on
There you
Times.
go.
Oh, yeah.
He's down in those. Yeah, he's done. But
No, it's literally just gonna be San Antonio and like it's suburbs.
yeah, if he needs to be winning like every rural county like easily to win this, and if he's
there's like
losing
no
counties-
votes cast. 53% of the votes in this one county, and there's only 78 votes cast.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blowout for Gonzalez. I can just tell.
Oh, and Gonzalez has taken the lead 59-40.
Yeah, he's up.
Yeah, San
60-40
Antonio
and-
came in.
yeah,
Yeah, well,
it's over.
Herrera's over. It's
Wait, 33%. Yeah, it's done. Let's stay on for a bit though. Let's have a discussion. We haven't done a stream in a while. Buckeye, cue the elevator music. We could have like you used to have. Remember when you put the elevator music on in the background? We just talk about the news. Come on, do that, dude.
Had Herrera actually been campaigning and not making his AK-50, maybe he'd have a shot.
Yeah, maybe if he wasn't putting out like 3 videos a day, you know.
That was like my dad was asking me, "Hey, did you see the new Brandon Herrera video?" And I'm like, "Can that guy like campaign instead of making videos?"
If he gets like if he actually gets over 40 with that though, like that just goes to show how much Gonzalez sucks. They like over 40% of the district voted for a guy who doesn't even campaign or just sits in his yard and makes videos.
There's like no turnout though. I just think that's what's crazy.
I mean, I don't know. As
Yeah,
much as I
most
want
people
Herrera
don't
to
pay
win.
attention to stuff like
Well,
this.
yeah, true. It's just kind of funny.
Right.
No, and the thing with running YouTubers is this is a fact. Like, just because he's popular on YouTube doesn't mean he'll be popular. Because, like, how many of his fans actually live in this district? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's his subscribers are from all around the nation and all around the world.
Yeah,
so-
not
Yeah,
like
so
in
it's-
one centralized area.
Yeah,
It probably
so,
helps with like
that's
fundraising,
why-
but not with actual votes.
Yeah, because every time YouTubers actually run for something, they like never get in. That's just a fact.
I mean, there was a YouTuber who ran in the London mayor race a few years ago, and he finished 4th. So, I mean, it's not all bad.
J-Reg running for mayor of Ottawa.
Didn't he get like 6 votes or something like that?
He got like 300 or something. Yeah, he got like 8th place though or something.
What even is that? Isn't that guy like a leftist? I've heard some people say he's far right. Some people
No,
say
he's like I don't even. He literally just makes like meme videos.
no,
I
but
think
like
he's a
no, he
leftist, yeah.
unironically like people
Yeah.
say that his views.
I'm pretty sure he's a leftist, like in real life.
Not surprising.
Yeah, but he doesn't talk about like any of that in his videos. But yeah,
I haven't watched him since like 2020, and I'm not going to watch him again.
I didn't know who that was until just now.
You missed. Be glad you missed that stupid meme culture from 2020.
How
mean,
bad was
it was better than whatever we have now with Skibbity Riz. or
Okay,
whatever.
this Jenna Alpha,
yes.
this stop.
Yes.
This Jenna Alpha crap is just like I hate it. Okay, they lowered the
Riz,
amount of votes into
Ohio?
26% now instead
Do
of
you have
33.
Ohio Riz North Star?
Yeah.
only in Ohio.
Buckeye, do you have Ohio Riz?
Of course I do. We have the most brain rot.
No, GOP Josh does. He objectively does.
GOP Josh is the right-wing Harry Sisson.
No, don't insult GOP Josh like that, dude. Please don't.
I'm not. I mean, he's all right. I'm not. I don't.
He's
Really,
not
love
just
Josh.
all right. He is GOP Josh. You do not make fun of GOP Josh, okay? He is a thought leader of this generation. Also, what are your thoughts on the Masters Hamada race? Because that's been heating up.
Was that to me or North Star?
Both. To both of you guys.
Have you even been following it, North Star?
I have not been. Politics has taken like a backbench for me in the past couple weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, unironically, for like the past week, I've been focusing more on the UK election than the US.
Okay, I've been like super autistic about UK politics for like 2 weeks. It's ridiculous.
No, Mexico's elections in 2 days.
I thought that was in
no,
July.
it's on Sunday. It's on Sunday, and then
What?
on I think it's like June 5th. India's releasing their because they've been voting for the past like 2 months.
It's
And
on
they're-
June 2nd. Oh my god. Well,
India's gonna release all their results because they vote over like 2 months and then they just release all their results. So it's not like you'll be waiting there and like watching results go. They're just gonna release all the results at once. So it's gonna be kind of interesting.
well, Mexico is screwed. Shine bomb.
No, the right wing sucks. I would vote for the Morena candidate if I lived there. The right wing sucks in Mexico. They're not even right wing. They're like the left wing is at least good on economics. Like the right wing doesn't do anything. It's just like the right wing is just a more corrupt version of the left wing. Both are corrupt, but the right wing's more corrupt. So it's like also politics in Mexico isn't really based on like social policy or
Well,
like
because Latin America, people have this idea that Latin America is this social conservative paradise, and I'm like, they were among the first countries to legalize all the gay stuff. So
Mexico is kind of whatever. I know Mexico's still very anti-abortion, at least the public is. It's like
Oh.
65% anti. But like people don't vote on that there because the way people see it, the average person there is like at risk of like starving to death. So it's like
or getting
Yeah, so
their head
they're-
cut off.
they're
by
not
the
going to
cartel.
care. Like they might be anti-abortion, but they're not going to be like, this is my single issue when I vote. They're going to be like, whoever won't starve me to death, I'll vote for.
Or whoever won't have the cartel murder me at night, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because the most socially conservative parts of Mexico, you look at this, like the places in Mexico that still oppose gay marriage are the strongest left-wing areas. And that's because of like the
Which is funny because I'm reading
Yeah.
about Shine Bomb and she's like far left socially on a lot.
yeah,
of
but she's
things.
gonna do best in the most socially conservative areas because people vote on economics there. That's how it is.
Well,
Like,
I don't know. I'm scared. All I'm gonna say is her last name makes me skeptical of her
Oh my god. Dude.
for reasons.
Why would that be?
Oh, you know.
Any reason in particular?
No, just reasons. Just reasons.
Nevada, man, no, they're not. When the right-wing party was in charge in Mexico, they took just as many bribes from the cartels, dude.
I
They're
think they
not
took
good on
more,
crime.
actually.
They're good on crime the same way the Tories are good on immigration. Okay, they talk about it, and then when they get into power, they don't do anything about it. You know, like that just seems to be a common trend with a lot.
There
of
was
these-
more immigration taken in underneath David Cameron, Boris Johnson, and Rishi Sunak than there was under Tony Blair, which says
It's so
everything.
funny because Sunak.
Because Tony Blair had problems with that too.
No, it's so funny because Rishi Sunak's like, I am going to stop all the migration if I win. It's like, dude, why didn't you do
Why
it?
don't you
when-
just do it now?
Yeah.
Like you have the majority.
Why can't
Only if I
AMLO-
win.
Yeah, AMLO should just become dictator because he's actually been pretty good.
AMLO's all right. I don't. He's like.
He's
I
good.
don't know.
Look what he did with the trains. He built like a bunch of trains. Did very good for Mexico. Everyone loves him. He's like a cult leader. He got like 55% of the vote, which is like unheard of in Mexican politics.
As if I care about Mexican politics, anyways.
I'm just saying that, like, I think you should care a little bit because that's
I do
where-
care, obviously, because they send their crap here.
Because if
but-
you think the immigration issue is the biggest issue, then you by definition have to care about Mexican politics because that's how the immigrants get here, you know.
that would be then. That's like it's kind of like saying if I care about trade, then I should care about how the Chinese government operates.
You should.
Well, true, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't. I just. It's just not something
Like-
I think about. I don't think about these
If
things
Chi-
on a day-to-day basis.
You should.
I mean, if you're concerned about that country's policy, you should probably like read about it.
Thing is, I already know.
I'm saying
what
that in general, not just to you, but
well,
yeah.
I know. I don't know. I just like I have better priorities than to worry about. Oh, Mexico. Like I mean, I care a little bit because of what they send here, but it's not the be all and end all. I don't obsess over. I don't sit there and I'm gonna be like, Shine Bomb's gonna win by 24, guys.
I saw a poll the other day that had her only up like 3, but we'll have to wait and see.
I'm looking at some of them. One of them, the latest one, has her up 22.
No, they're all over the place. That's what it is. Like Mexico's got no reliable polling. It's like you just
Mexico.
wait till the election happens and you see what.
Didn't the polls have AMLO losing by like 10 last time, and then he won by like 30?
Maybe. No, but AMLO is probably the closest thing Mexico has to a Trump. Like objectively, like.
I guess, yeah. I mean, Trump literally nicknamed him Juan Trump after all. So
No, it's so funny though. AMLO like campaigned in 2018. He was like, I don't like Trump. He's a meanie. But then he got in and he ended up being like one of Trump's closest allies. He like refused to congratulate Biden until like he was sworn in. Like
he also said Trump getting taken off Twitter was bad.
Yeah, he endorsed Trump for 2024 too. He said he'd make sure every Latino voted against DeSantis in the primary, but he does not like DeSantis. That's one thing I will say. He
Yeah, didn't they like get in a feud like online or something?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
funny.
Like,
It's funny because
forth.
Trump is more anti-immigration than DeSantis, but AMLO like endorsed Trump anyways over him. It's kind of interesting.
AMLO did what he had to do to win, and then as president, crime has dropped a little bit under him, so whatever. I mean, that's a plus.
Okay, and to be fair, Trump hasn't endorsed that stupid plan DeSantis did where he was talking about bombing Mexico. Like,
oh my god,
that's
like
the main reason that AMLO hated. Like, Trump hasn't done something that stupid. Like, DeSantis was like, "We're gonna bomb Mexico."
It's like we're gonna kill the cartel leaders if they're on U.S. soil.
We're gonna blatantly breach international law on a neighboring country
that we have trade agreements with.
A country that's already been moving closer and closer to China and Russia on that too.
Let's just bomb them, kill millions of civilians while we're at it.
Invade Mexico.
So true.
Let's bring back the 1840s, We should have kept Mexico City.
We should have taken all of Mexico.
Bro, the great replacement bros would be having a meltdown if there was
the great replacement, like bros who are like, we need to save the white race. It's like, okay, I understand being concerned about immigration, but like, I don't know. They kind of get annoying because they think if you they think if you're even friends with a black person, you're like a race traitor.
Yeah, people are annoying. The extremists are not.
Wow, extremists are annoying. You're telling me this for the first time.
Exactly. They're like, oh my god, you're friends with a black person, you traitor. And it's like, am I not allowed to have friends?
No, it's so funny. All these people who talk about that are like black and Hispanic themselves.
I know.
That's true, yeah.
Either that or they're all like fat and lazy and never leave their house.
It's like, what's the leader? The last name of the leader is Fuentes. Literal, like.
I know.
Literal Hispanic. And he's like, we need to see. Yeah, it's like. Yeah, Herrera's up in one county. He's done.
San Antonio's like done counting, though, to be fair.
Herrera, he's cooked.
We'll have to see. Herrera would have to get like.
He'd have to like run up the board everywhere, but
it could narrow. It could get
technically,
close.
yeah.
My guess is 55-45 Gonzalez. That's my guess. Which so far that hasn't been.
Fair, though, Gonzalez only got 60% in that county. It's not.
I mean, he is only down like 1,900 votes. So
the largest populated county is only 60-40. So
yeah, it's not the end of the world.
I mean, it's possible he could maybe come back. It's possible.
It's very unlikely, but it is still like possible. I mean, yeah.
If this was higher, if this was a higher,
70% still outstanding too. So
yeah,
if this was a higher turnout, I feel like Herrera would win.
No, I highly doubt Herrera would lose the general. I think it'd be a lot closer than last time, but I still think
No,
I'm
he's-
saying I'm saying in the primary, Herrera would probably.
No, I was talking to
Oh.
Nevada man. He made a chat earlier.
Oh, I'm not reading the chat, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
Herrera, it would be
finished.
close, but he'd still win. I don't know. I don't see why.
It
I think
would
he'd
not-
slightly underperform Trump. Gonzalez will overperform Trump by quite a bit if he's the nominee.
I mean, this district is probably going to trend right too because of the border crisis.
well,
Like,
it
I don't see-
already has been. In
Mhm.
2020, it was
Yeah.
decided by like 1 point.
Only thing I'm
if
kind of
as long
worried
as Herrera's
about
just not
is
stupid,
like
he'd still win.
Herrera has said a lot of things that I think could like turn off voters in the general.
Well,
like,
it's just stuff he said in like his YouTube videos. Like if you
on
read the
his
article, it's just like he
podcast. He
dressed up.
literally speaks into a podcast for like 3 hours a day, like
Well,
or like
yeah.
a few times a week. Like that's the issue, and they've pulled a lot of stuff just from the primary. Imagine how much it'll be if there's a general. You know?
That's the problem with nominating like radio and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
personalities.
Yeah,
Like that's
there's so
what like
much to
with
attack him on.
Larry
Yeah.
Elder in California a few years ago.
Oh my
like
god, like yeah,
you know, like the amount of dirt they dug up that Newsom dug up on him during that recall campaign in August and
Mhm.
September, it was so much.
Why didn't they just run Kevin Faulkner? Like he was
Because I don't know, I was a
he was a
Faulkner supporter.
moderate. Where was Steve Garvey back then? You know, instead of running to this year in a locked down Senate race, he's not going to win. Why didn't he run?
Faulkner was mayor of like a D+30 city. Like I don't know why we didn't run him.
Or got Steve Garvey to run back then instead of him running for Senate in 20 like. Either one of those would have been 10 times better, you know.
Herrera closed the gap a tiny bit.
Oh, more votes came in.
Close the gap where?
Like a little. He closed the gap by like half a point.
He's up in Brewster County.
He seems to be doing all right by the border.
I mean,
it looks
it's
like.
gonna narrow, but there's no way he wins.
I mean, if,
Bro,
if
he's
it was
gonna
like
do good on every county that borders the border. He's gonna win. But
I just have I don't know. I've like if it was like 50-45, I'd say there's a shot, but it's not even close to that.
Yeah,
it's Jover. The West has fallen.
I completely expected Herrera to lose because you know if he actually would have campaigned instead of making an AK-50.
do you guys know if the
Okay, there's hope. Red Lion just called it for Tony Gonzalez. There is hope.
we just won. We're so back.
Herrera's going to Congress, guys.
Is the
No, but then
I don't
a bunch of
the
people because a bunch of people now are saying that it's looking good for Herrera.
Is there a lot of unreported votes that are
no
gonna
El,
favor
I mean
No,
the
because
only
they're
thing I
saying
can
it's
think of
only
is El
60.
Paso.
They're saying it's only 60-40 in Bexar, and they're saying that's good for Herrera.
Well, yeah, I mean that is the most highly populated part,
Mhm.
but like, look if you look at all the counties still outstanding in like 2020, like there were literally only like a couple hundred people that voted in most of them. Like I don't see how you make
Well,
that
still,
up.
it's only 33% reported though. That's
Okay,
the-
Valverde County is not in. That had like a 8,000-ish. Maverick, is that part of the district? Yeah, that had like 10,000. Okay, so there are still some counties like here that have a lot
Herrera
of people
would
still.
really need to run up the margins in them, and judging by the fact
Yeah.
that Gonzalez is winning like everything around Maverick, I don't think he's gonna win it.
But Valverde,
Herrera's not gonna
I don't
Herrera's
think
up
he's
in the
gonna
county
win
next to it.
but,
Valverde,
I mean, we just gotta wait. I mean, it's still
Yeah.
possible. We just gotta wait.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much hope, but let me check. Let me check the Dade Phelan race real quick, just for the heck of it.
How populated is the El Paso part of the district too? Because part of El Paso County's in it too.
That's like
looks
that's
like
the
the
part
rural
of
part.
the El
Yeah.
Paso that no one lives in, so it's not that much.
That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah.
Dade Phelan is winning his primary 69-31 right now.
Guys, there is a candidate named Richard Nixon who ran in 2010 in this UK constituency. Okay, I gotta
Richard
pull this up.
How well did he do?
Give me a sec. No, someone just posted this on Twitter. Okay, you got to share this. This is an emergency.
Always the Twitter.
He was a show this okay for a second, and he ran as a Lib Dem too. North Star's thoughts on this? Would you have voted for Nixon in 2010 in Brigham? We should, you know what? We should name our congressional districts, you know, like constituencies.
Yeah, like after the places that are in them. I totally
Come on,
agree with that.
we shouldn't have Wisconsin District 5. Okay, we should have Greater Waukesha as a congressional district. You know, that sounds way better, you know? It's like give me another district like randomly. Like what would be 23rd district if it was a constituency? What would its name be like Rio Grande. It'd be like
Yeah, that'd be good.
Rio Grande. Yeah, like Rio Grande. It's like, come on. Would you rather watch the Rio Grande district primary runoff or Texas 23? It's like, come on. Canada Canada names their constituencies. France names their constituencies. Germany names theirs. Ireland doesn't have them. They use proportional. But even then, like the proportional districts, they name them. It's like, and then we just use numbers. It's a joke.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You know what they should let states use proportional representation if they want. You know, I think we should allow that on the state level. I think because like
Is that unconstitutional?
What?
Is that unconstitutional? I'm just
like
asking.
yeah, now it is because like yeah, there was it used to be states could decide whatever they wanted on the matter. But then there was a constitutional amendment that said every state has to have a state assembly, and if they have a state senate too, the state senate has to be proportional to the population, just like the state house. It's a joke, you know. I think states should be able to, if Vermont or Massachusetts or New Hampshire want to do proportional representation, they should be able to.
Well, it's up to them. I mean, it's their state.
They can't though.
States' rights moment.
Because of the Constitution, they can't.
The South will rise again.
Yeah,
Vermont secedes from America.
No, there's that. New Hampshire wants to be independent. There's like that movement.
Well, New Hampshire is schizophrenic. So.
Well, no, it's these Lulberts, these libertarians. They were at the convention. No, there was a guy walking around with a sign that said New Hampshire should secede.
It's and like,
that Trump was a socialist. And then once Chase Oliver was nominated, that guy endorsed Trump. So it's like,
it's funny. All these so-called Lulberts in New Hampshire vote for Biden. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like New Hampshire's supposed to be like this libertarian. Like people
You'd
say
think
it's like,
it's
such a libertarian state, but it's just not. Like
it is. No, it's not. It's just the libertarians get a large percent of the vote there. That's the only reason why. It's not ideologically libertarian by any means.
I think we have a better shot at winning Maine.
It's just a suburban shit-lib state. Like, let's be real. Like, that's what it is.
I'd argue Nevada is more of like a libertarian state than New Hampshire.
Or New Mexico, even.
Yeah, New Mexico.
I'd say New Mexico is libertarian.
Or even Montana and Idaho.
Alaska.
Yeah, Montana especially, I'd say, is one. Because of, like, they're more liberal on the social issues, but very pro-gun. Alaska, too. It's like not New Hampshire though. Maine isn't really libertarian. They're like the reverse. They're like socially more conservative, and then socially conservative. I don't mean like anti-abortion or I just mean like
culturally more to the right.
Yeah, they're culturally conservative.
What I was saying about Maine was I said I think Trump has a better shot at winning Maine than New Hampshire this year.
Easily.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen, but I think Maine will probably vote to the right of New Hampshire.
Yeah, Maine is a sleeper. I mean,
Maine's trends.
Don't sleep.
Oh yeah, exactly.
People have been ignored. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know. That was more than 2 years ago. It was like April of 22.
I consider that 2 years ago. Okay, if it's 2 years and 2 months ago, it's 2 years ago. You know.
I'm just saying.
And to think I started watching Buckeye in 2021. Wow.
You're an OG.
I saw your video called "What's a Conservatarian" or whatever it was.
I really want to delete that video, but I just can't bring myself to do it.
Dude, I remember you were like, "I will never forgive Trump for banning bump stocks."
No, he made like 8 Ron Paul election nights. I remember that.
Oh, I remember those.
I was his strongest soldier for like a few months.
I was never a libertarian when I was on YouTube. I went through that phase before I joined.
I was never a libertarian. I used to be more
You
of like
didn't
a
go through a libertarian
generic
phase, dude?
Republican.
How? That's crazy.
Is that like legal?
No, like you're not sufficiently right wing if you didn't have a cringe libertarian phase, dude. Like I'm skeptical. No,
I did have one like a little bit during 2020.
no. One of my friends at school is unironically going through a libertarian phase.
He'll call like 2 years from now. He'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I was so cringe."
Yeah.
Honestly, like myself now and myself from 2022, there's not a whole lot that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of same, actually. Like, since I left my libertarian phase in like 2021, I've basically been more like. There's some things I've changed my mind on, but overall, I've basically
The
been the
only
same.
thing I'd say
I've
that I'm
just
like
moderated.
I've switched on is I've moderated a little bit on like I've moderated heavily on deregulation and like that kind of stuff. I used to be a big fan of like regulation cuts and tax cuts, and now I'm like, eh.
I've moderated on most social issues. Again, more right wing on immigration. That's what I've done.
I've always been right wing on like immigration was like.
Well,
the
no, I
one
was
thing I've
always,
always been
but
based
like,
on.
I used to be just like limited a little bit. Now I'm like, yeah, we need to like shut it down a lot.
Shut
you
it
know?
down completely until we can, as Trump says, figure out what the H is going
Oh,
on.
Herrera gained about like a point, 42% in. Yeah, it's gonna narrow, but he's not gonna win.
They should just call it for
I
Gonzalez.
swear, if this ends up being another Bailey boss race, I'm gonna be pissed. Where it's like 51-49, you know.
Yeah, dude, Bailey should have won that race. I don't
Bailey
even
got
care.
screwed.
Yeah.
If Trump just stayed out of it, Bailey would have won, you know.
Guys, Donald Trump is unelectable in the Rust Belt.
I just kind of wanted to see Herrera win because I wanted to know how he would do like gun videos in Congress because he's
Yeah.
planning.
He brings his
said he was
AK-50 to the U.S. House.
yeah, like how would he do? He said he was going to make videos in Congress.
Think of the YouTube content though, like being in Congress and being a YouTuber, like that could actually
That would
be
be
like really
that
cool.
would be cool.
I actually wonder if he'd get along with like Maxwell Frost because he's.
I
like
honestly think that
'cause that's,
Gonzalez
like-
should run. Considering this run has failed, probably. I feel like Gonzalez should just go for like State House in like 2 years or something.
Well, yeah, he could easily win that.
Something like I feel like
if you
he
have
went
any
big.
name recognition, you can easily win State House. The
Right.
issue is that none of the if a YouTuber ran for State House, they could probably win that easily. The only issue is they don't want to. They want to run for like
cares?
House.
The problem is Herrera. I feel like shot too far with like I don't know. I just like I feel like had he done something small, like I'm gonna run for like state senate or something. I feel like he maybe would have. He probably would have. He probably.
No, but
would've-
You mean
he's
like run
putting
for
up a
state
hell of a
senate this year
fight.
and then like in 26 run for Congress?
That's what I would have done. But
Like he's putting up a hell of a fight, especially for someone who
oh
like
yeah.
Oh yeah,
90% of the district probably didn't even know existed a few months ago.
I mean, yeah, I mean for considering like his background, I mean this is actually a really solid
And
performance.
considering the fact that the incumbent representative is terrible, I mean,
I'm pretty sure he claims he got outspent like 10-1, but I don't know how true that is.
No, he did. He got outspent vastly.
I knew he got outspent badly. I don't know if it was 10-1 though.
No, it was. He was pulling in like no like ad spending.
On Wikipedia, it was like a little bit closer. It was like 3-1, but yeah, still. And I know that's not always accurate.
Let me check the FEC's website. See what the results.
Yeah, Wikipedia. I like how Wikipedia has like a thing for how much money candidates
I
get.
like.
Now.
Those
Oh
are out,
my-
those get
holy
outdated.
crap.
Well, I know they get outdated really
Yeah.
quick, but it gives you like a good baseline.
Federal Election Commission.
No, Open Secrets is also pretty good. I know that.
Yeah.
No, that's good for telling who donates to who, though. That's the thing with them. So you can look up any like big business person on Open Secrets and see everyone they've donated to. It's actually neat.
On the FEC, it says Gonzalez raised $4.5 million. Herrera had barely 1.5, like just under 1.5 million. Although that was they ended
So it
coverage
was like
on
4-1.
they ended
basically.
coverage on May 8th. So
Oh.
it
So it was like 4-1, which is still crazy. I mean, even like 3-1 is a lot.
yeah. Oh.
But he had some. I want to know how like. Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't. I guess it didn't make sense, but like he had a lot of solid endorsements too. Like by solid, I mean like big names endorsing him, like the Texas Agricultural Commissioner,
Yeah,
pretty much all the Freedom Caucus. Like it's kind of impressive he managed to pull that off.
The EU elections, aka like elections that are gonna just be a coalition between the center, center left, and center right again. They're gonna surge. The only thing those elections do is just give an indication of where countries stand. I know Le Pen's gonna gain a bunch of seats. The Brothers of Italy is going to fully surpass Lega as the biggest party in Italy, unfortunately.
Which is, dude, Lega should be the ruling party. Right now.
Brothers of Italy suck. It's so funny. The media was acting like they were this neo-fascist party.
Initially, okay, they campaigned really
Italy.
based,
And
but
then they get in and they end up just being
they take in more vote
the
migrants.
Tories of Italy. It's like,
I don't know.
It's
I
like-
mean, it's just like Maloney was the biggest international disappointment I've ever seen, probably
The
since
five-
Boris Johnson.
the five-star Lega coalition was more conservative than Brothers of Italy. And that was led by a center-left party. It's a joke.
I know.
They were at least anti-immigration,
The five-star center-left party was more anti-immigration than Brothers of Italy. Like that's
yeah, because
just
no,
sad.
like, and here's the thing: she's decent on domestic issues, but it's like, who cares? Like, immigration's the main issue
For
facing the
Europe, for
country.
European
It's
elections,
like I don't
like-
care if she's gonna like stop if she says that Pride Month doesn't exist anymore. Like that's the most she does like nowadays. It's like, come
well,
on.
and the
that's-
thing
that's
is
the only
what
thing you
what
guys
should
can
be
do, like-
important to like if
How
you're a
about stopping
European,
the boats? You know,
Right.
like, all these conservative leaders in Europe talk big about the boats. It's like,
how about just
None of them
tighten your
stopping
border
them.
control and force the laws you
Yeah.
have? Like it's not that
you know what's
hard.
ironic? The only country that's actually like done anything on immigration is Greece, which is like, and no one
Out
talks
of
about
all
their government.
places, yeah, Greece kind of surprises me.
And like no one talks about them. And the only reason they do that is just because they hate Turkey so much. And most of the people coming over are Turkish, and they just don't like Turkey. So, like,
A
it's
win
like,
is a
hey,
win.
At least they're stopping it. Hungary
you,
too has a bunch of migration. Like that's the thing. Like Hungary is pretty overrated in my opinion. I think that like
For European standards, they're still good, but
no, but like
The stuff they
thing
do in
is
the
that-
EU is kind of good though.
No, the thing is
No.
though with Hungary is a lot of times they want people to see them as this super when in reality they're not. Like 55% of Hungary is atheist or irreligious. You don't
well, that's also
you
because
wouldn't
of
think
the racial
so.
divide from the USSR.
If you just
so-
listen to what like all these conservative commentators, you wouldn't think that about Hungary, but it's a fact. It's one of the least religious countries
Well,
in Europe.
You also have to remember, like a lot of Eastern Europe is like that, and that's because of the USSR and its
No,
like,
even-
like it's going to take
East- well,
generations before
Even
Eastern
compared
Europe
to its
recovers.
neighbors, though, Serbia is significantly more religious.
Well,
Slovakia,
Yugoslavia wasn't really like a communist, like occupied state like Hungary was. I
Right.
mean, neither of them were obviously.
No, but, like,
it wasn't nearly the extent. that it was.
Slovakia was, and Slovakia is 60% Catholic. You know,
Well,
it's
yeah. I'm not denying that, I'm
Austria,
just saying
which
that
is
there
next
something
door, is
that
like
people are saying.
58% Catholic. It's like Poland is like 70%. You know, and Hungary's just sitting there. The only country really comparable is the Czech Republic. And the only reason they're very secular is because they're like 90% urban. That's the only reason they're so secular.
What is your opinion on the AfD in Germany?
I think that like they recently got kicked out of Identity and Democracy. I think that there was a very poor choice of words from their chairman and or their leader in the European elections. And I think that like there is this faction within their party that is not the party itself, but there is objectively a faction in that party that is on the very far right, the very neo-Nazi faction. This is objectively a fact. I'm not saying it's the whole party. In
Yeah,
fact,
I've heard that. I mean,
most
if
of the
I
party isn't, but I think that if the party wants to be successful, they need to fully denounce that faction within the party.
well, because
Like,
you're
that's
in
what they need to
Germany and
do.
that's a pretty sensitive subject. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
No, but
I mean-
even no matter what country you're in, if there was any
But
faction
especially
like that,
Germany.
well,
like,
what I was saying is Germany especially. Like I mean, anywhere you should still denounce it regardless. But
yeah, but I think that like when you come out and say that, where it's like, I don't think everyone who wears a who like what did they say? They said something like
I don't.
anyone who wears a Nazi armband isn't automatically bad. It's like you don't say that, especially in Germany. And like
That's not
everyone's like
something you say
everyone's
out
like Le
loud.
Pen went woke because she kicked the AFD out. It's like, well, what do you want her to do? Like
I
you
mean,
want
Le
her
Pen was reasonable in doing that because she doesn't want to be
like the
associated
AFD is
with
collapsing right now in
neo-Nazis.
Germany. What she wants to do is she doesn't want to take the entire ID group down, like with them, you know?
Well,
Well, yeah.
what she's doing is she's preserving her
Yeah.
coalition or her
From a
party's
political
electoral
standpoint, it
chances.
makes perfect sense what she
Right.
did.
Like the AFD's plummeted. Like she
I
doesn't
mean,
want.
the AFD is
Yeah.
still polling in second, surprisingly, but
That's going to be done in like a week. It's been like on a downward, and they're polling third again in the EU elections. So
if I was in Germany before that BSW or whatever it's called was created, I probably would have voted AFD. But considering the BSW is more like me on economics and also is socially conservative, I don't know. I'd probably pick them, I guess.
yeah,
I don't.
I'd probably vote for them too if I was there.
My like doesn't well Germany does like don't you have to vote for like two candidates there or something?
Yeah, so you know half their seats are like I actually don't
Constituencies.
mind the system though. I think they've got okay. I'll explain. Germany's politics are weird, but
The
like it's
Bundestag has like constituencies
Yeah.
and then list seats. I
yeah.
know
So
that.
half their seats are constituencies, and then the other. So it's like you'd vote for your local congressman, MP, whatever they call, and then you'd vote for a party on the list, and then they like distribute the list. I think they use the Dehont method. Could be wrong. There's different methods for distributing. But the thing is with Germany is that they've got this stupid rule where unless you get if you come in first in the constituency count in a state, unless you get over 40% of the list vote, you don't get any of the proportional delegates in the state. It's this dumb
That's
system.
that's
It's
stupid.
kind of it was a compromise set up after World War II because they didn't want a party getting a winning like the Nazis did. Like that was the thing. So they just like basically made Germany a fake democracy, you know? So it's like even if people want this party in power, it's like nope, you don't get it.
I think what I'd probably like the ideal government for Germany for me, like if I had to pick, would probably be like an AFD BSW coalition. I feel like that would probably be
I think
decent.
that'd be but AFD's done. Like I think
The AFD,
they
like,
had a
like
shot.
okay, the AFD
For a
last year
while.
around this time, the AFD was like they were on fire, like they were winning
They
local
were
elections.
surging. And
They were gonna overtake the CDU, but
and they were doing decent too. Like the leader of the CSU in Bavaria, for example, said that if he was leader of the CDU, he would open up talks to at least have them in a confidence and supply agreement. But then recently, they just went off the rails. Like a lot of these like neo-Nazi types who had ties to the party just kind of got into leadership roles, started saying a bunch of stuff, and from there, it's like now they're just collapsing because of it. No, the CSU, oh, I thought the Veteran said CSU is pretty based. All right, I thought he said it's pretty bad. No, the CSU is good. I would
the
vote.
CDU is the one that sucks.
Yeah,
The CSU is the decent one.
No, I'm gonna be honest. The CDU is literally just like the Republican Party, like a few years.
But they're all about the climate change.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just a climate skeptic. They're more conservative than Republicans on most social issues, especially
Are
like.
they?
Yeah, they're very anti-abortion. They like want to fully ban it in Germany.
I apparently like I've been trying to learn more about like the German
Yeah,
political
Germany's
parties.
actually a lot more conservative on abortion than the U.S.
I really cannot find good reliable info on where any of the parties except for the AFD stand. Like the CDU,
What is the
I've
AFD
read
stand on
things
there?
that say the CDU is like the German Republican Party, but then I've also read that like there's people who are like similar to Joe Biden in the CDU. I don't know. I don't understand.
Well, it depends. There's factions. Like the CSU in Bavaria is extremely conservative. They're like
they have like shopping restrictions and stuff on Sundays.
You know what they have in Bavaria? The minister president there put in place this like rule that like federal buildings have to have a cross displayed.
That's pretty based.
So like Bavaria is very conservative. Like abortion's basically banned. They've got I believe the most conservative abortion restriction in Europe is in Bavaria. Actually, it's more conservative than Poland's law on it.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't. Like out of all of like the countries, the one that is hardest to do research on is Germany, Just
Well,
because,
yeah,
like, I don't
they've
know.
got a big tent. Okay, so like
Right.
the person who's like Joe Biden, they've got like their own Phil Scotts. From what I've seen, it's like the Northern German CDU, the CDU in like the northern
Like
provinces tends to
Hanover and
be
stuff.
very liberal. Yeah, like they tend to be very liberal on a lot of stuff. Like further north, like the Hamburg area, like
Well, I mean, West Germany's like the more wealthy,
yeah.
upscale part, so that would make sense.
But like southern Germany, the CDU there is a lot more
The more
conservative.
Catholic part of Germany, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Then the AFD, from what I can tell, is most popular in like the old East
They're most
Germany
popular with
areas.
atheists, ironically. It's kind of
Really?
yeah.
Well, yeah, I
Aren't
mean
they
it's the
also?
old,
They're
it's
also
East
pretty
Germany.
popular. They're popular a lot with like the coal workers too. I think because
Mhm.
of the climate skeptic stuff that
No,
happens
because
in
the
the
thing
other
is, like,
parties.
all the provinces the AFD do well in are like 95% atheist. So it's like the thing is that like a lot of because the thing is East Germany. The reason the AFD was surging quite a bit was that East Germany is where they were really surging, and the thing is that like most of those voters have always been turned off from voting for the CDU because it's like most of the voters there are very irreligious, and the
Well, and it's
CDU is
literally
just
called the Christian Democratic
yeah.
Union.
So
I
like a
mean,
lot of them, like they'll vote for them sometimes, but it's like they're a lot more comfortable voting for the AFD because it's not explicitly religious.
well, because the AFD is like I don't know. They're more. I mean, they're like a secular right wing populist.
All right,
movement.
guys, I gotta like go
So,
for a little bit. Do you want to end the stream or do you want to keep talking and I'll just mute myself?
Yeah, we'll
just
keep talking.
talking.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know how long I'll be gone, but hopefully not that long.
That's fine. We can be here a bit.
Okay.
Who cares? But yeah, Germany is neat. Like European politics, getting interested in them is neat because like these
What got
countries,
me into the European politics was the 2019 British election when we all thought Boris Johnson was going to be great, and then he turned out to be the biggest disappointment in the history of ever.
compared to Sunak and like Truss, he was very
Okay,
good.
to be fair,
I'm gonna
he
be
still
realistic.
is better than Sunak.
Yeah.
I'll give him that, but
Hey,
that's
he endorsed Trump for 2024.
Oh
and, like,
yeah, I saw that.
yeah.
I'm like, really?
No, the
Because he was
dumbest
one of
thing
the
though is
first people to
Liz
congratulate
Truss.
Biden.
Because Liz Truss was like went from a Remainer who was like one of the most like moderate members of the Conservative Party. Now she's going to CPAC trying to sell this book that's like how I stood up against the liberal establishment. It's like no,
You
you're not.
lasted 44 days.
And you were a Remainer in 2016. It's like she's not very conservative.
It's like you were against Brexit, and also you just
That is objectively how the Tories are, though. It's just like, at least with Boris Johnson, he was a massive supporter of Leave in 2016.
Well,
He was like the face of.
I with Bojo, I honestly think I think Boris. Honestly, I don't think he was like this evil, corrupt maniac. I think he was just legitimately dumb. Like
He was actually semi decent until Ukraine. Like that's.
Yeah, I mean the
he
COVID
was
stuff was
decent on a
annoying,
lot of
but
issues.
I mean everything in Europe was gay with the COVID stuff. So
Mhm. Well, yeah, everyone was like Andres Babis, for example, in the Czech Republic. He was a very good leader, but he had very tough COVID restrictions.
didn't
Viktor Orban too.
I was gonna say I was just gonna bring up. Didn't Orban have really strict COVID rules
He
too?
had very strict restrictions. It's like Lega in Italy. They had very strict COVID restrictions. They in government they voted for some of the strictest COVID restrictions. That's also part of the reason Brothers of Italy became the biggest right wing party is because of the COVID backlash from COVID.
From what it feels like being against COVID rules is like a uniquely American phenomenon because it seems like
Well, no,
everywhere else
because
that really
the
wasn't a
right
big
in
big
America
thing.
is a lot more libertarian than it is in Europe. That's a fact.
Well, but yeah, because the right
Like,
in Europe is more. I don't know. I mean, in a
and I
way that
don't.
it's a
And like,
double-edged sword. It's a
I'm
double-edged
gonna be
sword.
honest. I don't tend to mind that. Like, not on economics, but on like kind of the cultural stuff. I kind of like that America, like, the right is more like pro free speech, pro, like
Right. I
human
mean,
rights.
that's what I like because I
Yeah.
mean, like, I should be able to
That's
criticize the president, and not have to worry about getting thrown into a death
that's
camp.
the
Like that's how it
good
should
part
be.
of libertarianism is like the rights, not the nonsense. Like we're gonna abolish Medicaid. It's like no,
We're
but
gonna
it's like
open the borders.
yeah, but it's like saying
like
that you have basic freedoms, you don't
free
have to take a
speech,
shot.
being able to being
you
able to
know?
have movement, being able to own a gun. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the good stuff.
That type of freedom's the good kind, not the we need to abolish every social program, It's like we need fully open borders, we need everything else.
Exactly. Main Populist says the CSU stands for the Cool Sigma Union.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, Putin had very strict lockdowns.
Yes, he did. Russia didn't fully lift them until 2023, from what I can remember.
Yeah. Not to mention China. China had very strict.
China literally was they were locked
They were
down tighter than
welding
Fort
people
Knox
into their
until
house. They were welding people into their houses.
I know. And they were spraying so-called health spray in the air. Like, whoa, what did? Oh, really?
I know they had drones. They had drones telling people to go in. It's like, it's kind of funny though. No, most of the world is a lot more strict. Canada and the US are both kind of like that though. Canada's kind of tried buying into that as well.
I really don't know what to think of the Canadian conservatives, because I keep hearing the Canadian right wingers that Pierre's based, but then I hear from other people that Pierre just sucks, and I'm like, I don't know.
No, the Canadian Conservative Party is complete dog shit. They suck. The average Canadian conservative person is a chill person.
The average Canadian conservative is identical to us, I'm pretty sure.
Well, no, because they'll be like, I wouldn't vote Trump. He's too mean. 90% of Canada will, or 70% will say they'd vote for Biden. But it's the average Canadian conservative agrees with us if you sit them down on the issue.
That's what I was trying to say. They're almost identical.
The party though, you have Pierre going up there and saying, "We're gonna build a direct flight to Amritsar, guys. We're gonna bring in all the Sikhs so that Canada can become more diverse."
What I will say, with Pierre, the only thing I like about him is Pierre is really good at communicating his message. That's what I'll say. Pierre's the reason he is so popular is because he is a master communicator.
The only thing he was good on was COVID, which has been a dead issue. He's just the DeSantis of Canada. That's all he is.
I mean, I still support him over Trudeau because Trudeau is just awful, but
Nevada, man, I'd say more if New Hampshire was a country. That's what I'd say. Probably closer to New Hampshire,
I don't necessarily like Pierre for Canadian standards is decent, but
no, he's not. He's really not.
If he was running in America, I'd be like, heck no.
No, he really isn't. Canada isn't even that much more left wing than America. It's just the reason is that the party establishment believes pretty much the same thing up there. The only thing is that you don't have Freedom Caucus types up there because the party literally votes in convention who gets to be.
The party controls everything you do.
They can kick people out. If you vote against, Thomas Massey in Canada would have been kicked out years ago. Because if you make one bad vote, the party will just kick you out and remove your membership.
Or if you say something on Twitter they don't like, you get removed from your constituency.
That's the thing. In the US, we're very democratic in that means where it's you have to convince
and also
the voters.
We only have the thing with America is, I mean, in a way, the Republican Party has to be more that way because it's one giant tent on the right wing, whereas Canada has room for another right wing party to maybe rise up eventually.
Yeah,
I don't see that happening here, but
Bernier isn't good. Let's just say
if Bernier was actually good at campaigning, they would have overtaken the conservatives.
He's literally just a libertarian who says he's anti-immigration. But it's funny because when he was in Parliament, he was one of the most left-wing conservative members. He never tried to be more conservative on immigration than the conservatives. He voted party line on that. He was one of the most left-wing on social issues of the conservatives.
From what I can gather too, I feel a lot of Canadian voters, I feel similar to what happens in Mexico, I feel they more look at issues of economics and the government rather than
because there's no
policy,
opposition on social issues. Everyone's just kind of whatever.
Which I don't know. I mean that can be good and that can be bad depending on what you believe in, but
look, in a country like Mexico where it's it makes sense, but Canada, immigration, and the thing is, most Canadians want drastically lower immigration, but none of the parties want to talk about it. The only party that will semi-defend it is the Bloc. To like defend anti-immigration.
Well, because they have to, because
Yeah.
the CAQ, which has been kind of bullying them. Which I don't know. I
And the
am
CAQ is now
so
being attacked by the Party Quebecois for being too liberal on migrant. It's like Quebec is like a microcosm. So Quebec is like actually a decently based part of Canada, and then the
But
rest
they
of Canada
vote
just
the
sucks.
way they vote schizophrenically. They are just weird.
Like the unionists in Quebec are just dead now, largely because of the immigration issue. It's like because they're just led by people who are like, we love immigrants, please come in, because they want to get the votes of the immigrants who live in Quebec. So then everyone in Quebec who's not an immigrant's just like, no, we don't want them. So no one votes for the Liberal Party anymore. So Quebec
Which is
politics
funny because
is
the
now
CAQ
between two nationalist parties. It's actually funny.
It's funny. The CAQ was elected because Quebecers didn't like all of the Muslim immigration, and then they proceeded to take in more than the previous government.
And now the old party that was like kind of moderate on immigration has like put themselves as like a super anti-immigration party. It's like
I just I don't know. I don't understand what goes on above us. I don't get it. Like how Manitoba has like a center left premier or
the
whatever.
NDP.
Yeah, the like Wab Kiinu or whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
Canadian
then I look
politics.
at where he stands on policy, and he's like to the right of like Pierre Poilievre on stuff.
Mm-hmm. No, but like yeah, big European elections coming up. Austria is kind of under talked about. The ID affiliate,
Oh yeah.
the ID affiliated party is going to win big. There, I saw. Like they're up like 15 points in the polls at the moment.
I mean, no one. Let's be real. No one really cares about Austria.
No, but like that's good because like
That is good.
that gives Orban like a safety. Because the thing is like the European Commission's important. Like the more votes you can get on the European Commissions, the better it is. So like, because the thing is, the leader of Austria on the European Commission is the same power as the leader of Germany or France. You know, so it's
Yeah.
like getting a bunch of those small countries to have good like European commissioners is good. The commissioner's just the head of state, by the way. Like that's all
Right.
they are. And like Orban can't just rely on like Slovakia because like look what almost happened to Fico a couple of weeks ago. You know, it's like, did you hear about what happened to him?
I don't know anything about Slovakia. What happened?
No, Fico almost got assassinated like a few weeks ago.
Ooh.
So like if he got
Oh, I did hear about that. He was
Yeah.
okay. That's what that
yeah,
was
like
about.
look what almost happened, you know? Like he can't, and at that point Maloney would be like the person you, and do you really trust Maloney if she was like the deciding vote on whether or not to kick Orban out? Would you trust her? Like
No,
I wouldn't.
no, she's literally best buds with Rishi Sunak. Like, heck no.
Sooner, yeah, it's kind of whatever.
I'm ashamed to have ever like supported Sunak in that leadership election.
I mean, who was the opposition though?
I don't like I supported him over Liz Truss because I was like, Liz Truss is gonna ruin everything, and I was
The
right.
good thing, I'm so glad though that Sunak stopped that stupid pose that all the conservative leaders would do. If you haven't seen it, just look up the pose they would do. They would do this like weird pose with like their legs was.
Oh, they're like the what power pose? What on earth?
All right, I'm back for like 30 seconds.
We're talking about the UK conservative power pose that everyone would do.
someone photoshopped
Wait,
random British
share it.
politicians
I'll
splitting.
share it, Buckeye, you gotta show this for 1 second, and then
I
Send it.
will.
I'll put it
Okay.
up.
and then you can put the results back up.
It's
after.
this. No, show that there.
What is this?
I found
Every
one. Someone
conservative leader
photoshopped.
does
Someone
this.
photoshopped a guy like standing between two trucks doing the power pose.
No, I gotta find Liz Truss's because hers was the worst.
What is
Hers
it
was like the. No, it's not. It's not showing up. But hers. All I know is hers was the worst. Whatever.
What on earth
We'll have
is
to find
going
out
on
later.
across the pond?
British politics moment.
It's so
The
funny though that
the only
Jeremy
thing I
Corbyn,
like
that,
about British
that
politics is that they report their results way faster than we do.
True.
Like literally,
I actually kind of
the
like their
moment the
system.
polls close at 10 o'clock, we pretty much know what the government's going to be.
Well, no, that's because of exit polling, and they're usually pretty accurate.
The only
No, but
time
I like
they
exit
were
polls
wrong, I know
here.
they were wrong in 2015 and like the 90s. Like they said John Major was going to like lose big time, and then he didn't.
No, I kind of like those. What was I gonna say? I like those. The way they count their votes is kind of neat because
I
for
don't
the
want to
Yeah,
interrupt.
they announce
but
it.
we have some news for the race. You know, Bexar County, which is where San Antonio is,
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
80% in. It just went down to 55% in.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, we
no.
knew it was Joe Burr, so it's
Stop
like
the steal.
So unless like that's, well, I did find out also that this is early vote. Like election day, they count early vote first. So I don't know if that favors Gonzalez much.
wait. So is Bexar
Ah.
gonna narrow?
Maybe, I don't know. This is early vote though, so I mean I don't think there's gonna be like a huge election day surge, but this is but Herrera's probably gonna get like more votes as
Maybe
the night
that's
goes
why they
on.
haven't called it.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be why. That would explain everything.
No, the Austria ID party would protect Orban. Like they're pretty. They're
All right,
pretty.
I gotta go again. I'll be back in a little bit.
Okay. No, but the Austrian ID party would protect Orban. They're pretty good.
Unsurprising.
I found out the president of Croatia, who's like a social democrat, is actually very critical of Ukraine. I didn't know that, but like found it out randomly the other day.
European politics is just incredibly confusing sometimes. Like I remember hearing like back when Germany elected Olaf Scholz like 3 years ago. I remember everyone saying Scholz is a right winger, and I'm like, what?
No, he was like super pro Russia before the invasion. Like he was like
as most of the
Yeah.
SPD was too.
Yeah, it's kind of that's kind of why the BSW was formed, because they were just like, we're gonna be the pro-Russian left, you know, because they. No, it's funny because the old president, what's his, Schroeder.
Gerhard Schroeder.
Yeah, Gerhard. Yeah, he still to this day defends Russia consistently because he like
He's the whole reason we have we have they have Germany's relying on Russian gas.
like, and that's the thing. He still works for Russian companies, and he's like he lives in Russia. I'm pretty sure full time, even after the war.
That wasn't that the guy who like won the election by like 2 seats or something.
Probably something like that.
Hang on, it was like 2000. Was it like 2002?
It's funny though because like it is so rare in German politics for the SPD to win. Like we're seeing that now. Like the SPD will win one time and then immediately lose after. Like the CD,
it
the
reminds me of the
CDU is-
British. They remind
Yeah.
me of the British Labour Party, where like Labour will win in like a huge landslide, and then the Conservatives will just gradually eat into it over time.
No, this is how it is. Labour will win in a huge landslide. They'll narrowly win another election. Then the Conservatives will win, and they'll
And the
be in power
Conservatives
for like
form, and then the
15 years.
Conservatives will form a hung parliament, and then the Conservatives will form a majority. They'll strengthen it again,
Yeah.
lose a little bit, strengthen again, and then lose in a landslide.
Actually saw a poll. It was pretty narrow. Labor is only up 10 points in a poll I saw. I love how that's the level we're at, though. It's like, oh, Labor's only up 10 points.
Labour's
in this-
only gonna form a majority by 4 seats, guys.
No, but it was an outlier. Most of them still have them down 20. But it seems like a lot of the surge towards Reform UK, now that the election was actually called, is kind of going away.
It was like a knee-jerk reaction to like Sunak being awful, is what it was.
No, but like Workers' Party of UK is interesting because they're anti-abortion. They're super right-wing socially. They're like anti-immigration, but also super pro-Palestine. They're like a weird party. Like that's George Galloway, but they're also socialists. It's like the weirdest party in the world. You know, I wonder if Galloway is going to win re-election in that seat.
Probably the odds. I checked the odds for that the other day. The odds have him like the like Britain's version of like 538 has him winning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dade Phelan's race is narrowed. He's only up by 6 now.
Well, what percent's in?
65% Phelan's up by 5.4.
Yeah, he's probably gonna lose, especially if that's early vote. You know.
Phelan was up like 70-30 like an hour ago.
Yeah, it's pretty. If that's early, he's probably gonna barely win or lose.
Phelan is the only reason Phelan is winning is because Jefferson County's coming in for him 70-30.
That's crazy. What percent's in there?
93.
Maybe that's his
And
hometown.
he's doing okay in Orange County, which has a similar vote total to Jefferson. He's trailing by 8 to Covey.
Guys, I think I should point this out. Tony Gonzalez is only up 4 in El Paso County.
He's only up 4. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
is.
but there's only 300 votes there, so like, don't take it with.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
The race is it's probably gonna be like what I said. I said 55-45.
Hey, I thought Gonzalez was gonna get like 63. So.
I mean, if Herrera would have actually campaigned instead of like being autistic, he probably would have. He probably would be ahead.
Right, guy. That's very ironic. You said libertarian. You said Ukrainian party because Ukraine has banned like 90% of their parties.
Yeah, like how in 2019 the pro-Russian party was leading the election polls, and then the ruling party just banned them, or whatever.
Yeah, and then Zelensky, ironically, like came out as the more pro-Russia candidate, and that's why he won in a landslide because Poroshenko, who was the incumbent, he was like the super hawkish on Ukraine pro-NATO candidate. I mean, not on Ukraine, on Russia. He was the hawkish.
I don't know. Ukraine can. I screw Ukraine.
And Taiwan too, because that's the next one they're gonna try to get us involved in.
I don't really care. I don't care about Taiwan because it's like, why don't we have Intel and all these other companies just build stuff here?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. You know,
like it's like if TSMC wants to sell us computer chips, then build a plant here. Like,
no, the main reason I'm talking about that is because China's been having a big buildup in Taiwan recently, and like a bunch of inside sources claim they're gonna invade by June. So.
Well, they've been saying that for like years, and it hasn't
No, I
happened.
think Taiwan would be different than Ukraine. I think that it wouldn't be like Ukraine being in the trenches for years. I think that China would take them pretty quick, because like I don't think the U.S. would have time to get there, because China would have to like fully surround the island, and blockade it. So like the Navy is not going to be able to get there, So I think China would just kind of take it. I know Taiwan's got a military, but it's like China's got a much bigger one. So.
Well, the only thing I don't like about China's military is their command structure is incredibly incompetent.
I mean, if they're going against Taiwan, though, it's one thing.
I mean, if it was against us, it's a different story, but it's Taiwan, so
I think they'd get it organized if they were going against us, though. Like that's the thing.
I think in a war with China, I think still, even with our incompetent leadership, I think we'd narrowly pull it off.
I like how you're saying narrowly as if it's like an election. It's
no,
like,
I think we would. I think at first, I think we would definitely struggle.
No, I think that like you shouldn't underestimate a lot of these countries.
I'm not underestimating them. I'm saying I'm saying that China is not to be screwed with. I don't. At the moment, I just don't think they're there yet. I think they will be in a few years.
Also, like, here's something you also need to realize. If like there was a full war, like NATO versus Russia, China, what you got to remember is that like most of the third world outside of Europe leans more towards Russia and China.
Well, yeah.
So like they would get soldiers from a lot of these countries. You know what I mean? Like, so the U.S. there's only so many people they can get from the U.S. and Europe. Like China and Russia would have access to a lot of these countries who'd be willing to help them out. You know what I mean?
Well, especially at least considering China has turned Africa completely in their favor.
Yeah, like there's a lot of manpower in those countries that like China and Russia would.
I'm sure like the DRC and whatnot would send volunteers to them.
Like, I mean, even back when the Wagner coup was happening in Russia, Uganda and another African country said they would give Putin security if he needed it. Like, if there was a full-blown war, a lot of these countries, I guarantee, would give them like a bunch of men, you know?
It's unsurprising. I don't know. I don't know why people want war with China. It's like, why don't we
It's a
just
joke,
keep,
yeah. It's like
it's
these
like
people,
keep the war purely trade related.
like El Carbo for some reason. El Carbo's always like talking. He's like, we need to kill the commies. It's like, dude.
It's like, dude, they're not the Soviet Union. I kind of used to be the way. I wasn't like pro-war with them. I just really didn't like them. I still don't care for them, but I'm not like.
Yeah, but like that doesn't mean we shouldn't have a Cold War.
I don't
with
like
them either.
viciously
Like,
hate them. I don't like them in the sense that they've taken our businesses. But to be fair, that is kind of our own fault.
yeah, it's like all these people are like, we should punish them for taking. No, we should punish the businesses for going there. It's like, what is China supposed to do? Be like, that's not moral. You're doing this. Don't come here. It's like, no, they're gonna
What's
take
China
it.
supposed to do? Be like, oh no, don't help our economy.
It's like we shouldn't punish them. We should just be like, we should punish the businesses for going there. You know,
By implementing tariffs, like Trump did.
Central Valley Politics says El Paso is almost tied. We might actually win here.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
What's another European country that we gotta?
Oh
yeah, Spain is such a joke. Like,
dude, the Vox Party. I had such high hopes for them in July, and they just crapped the bed.
They're kind of a joke nowadays. With Portugal, like they formed like a big tent,
Chega or whatever.
No, they literally formed a big tent with the center right and center left. It's like, what else is Poland is doing whatever.
Poland is screwed because Donald Tusk.
They literally voted for, and it's funny because like it's not even like he won because they were pissed that the PIS was too conservative. They won because the PIS was being cringe on immigration and giving out like free visas to people.
So they voted in the guy who's even worse.
Well, no, because Tusk was like running like he was a super big immigration restrictionist. And to be fair, he has been semi-decent on immigration since he got in there. Like, but it's kind of like what he's doing though is he's massively shifting cultural reforms in Poland. Being anti, so he's not good, but he's been better than PIS was last term on immigration. But he's been like super crap on all the social stuff, if you know what I mean, and all the like societal stuff.
I feel like Le Pen in France is becoming too cringe.
Yeah, not really. She's like,
I mean, I understand like she has to kind of pivot to the center a little bit because the French public, I don't think, is just ready for that type of conservatism yet.
No, the funny thing I saw is that the only party to vote against that like abortion codification in the French Constitution was the center right. Like, was the center right? Like, they were the only ones to oppose the. Because like they made abortion like a constitutional right, which is funny because their abortion law is more conservative than the U.S. was pre Dobbs. Like they've got like a 16-week ban, I think, and that's what they have codified as a right.
And funny over here, you mention like a 20-week ban, and everyone loses their minds.
Yeah.
I would personally support a 20-week ban, but as I don't think the GOP should even try that.
No, I think states' rights is the best message on it. Like that's
what I'm saying is I would personally support it, but strategically I would say no, don't do that.
No, strategically and personally, I think that is the best, ideally, because I think that like enforcing morals, like it doesn't work. Like I know a lot of these people will say, "Oh, you can legislate morality." No, you can't. It's not something you can legislate. It's something that needs to be done on the personal level. That's a fact. Like legislating morality does not work.
It's something
Every
that
time
needs to be done by slowly moving the Overton window.
Yeah,
to the
it's
right.
got to be done at the personal level. It's you can't enforce morality like policy wise. Like, okay, is made populist just like someone who's like exists to just parody all my talking points, but like take them to absurd lengths? Because he's like talking about Xi Jinping as this spiritual like, is this dude legit just like there to like take my views and just like because he made a meme the other day on Twitter where it was like Morena, it was like all these weird parties that I support or like that I like lean towards like worldwide, and it was like these are the forces for good. Like it's like this dude's just like made to try. Also, Sweden, their politics sucks. By the way, everyone
I
hates
know.
the Sweden Democrats. That they're a joke.
They're
were
not like they're still to the left of the Republicans in America.
they're proposing like trans like students' rights or something like that. They put in place like a bill for like transgender shit. That's all I know about that.
Which is funny because in Sweden they're considered to be the far right Nazis.
Mm-hmm. It narrowed quite a bit. It's like Gonzalez is only up by less than 10 now. So I don't know why it hasn't changed the Buckeyes screen. It still says on mine. It says 54.9 to 45.1. What came in? And it's only 50. It's only 54% in too. So it's like could be an upset. Could pull off an upset.
I hope so.
Yeah. Like definitely could narrow 10 points in the next 46.
I have a feeling it's gonna be like a Darren Bailey type thing where he
he's gonna
votes.
fall short by like 100 votes. It's gonna be like
it'll be like 16 votes or something stupid.
I did some research the other day. It was kind of interesting. You know the island of Sicily in Italy?
Yes.
99% of the island's registered with the Catholic Church. It was kind of interesting. It's like that's like Vatican City levels, you know?
That is a bit weird. Oh God! I just found a picture of Boris Johnson doing a power pose. Oh God!
Oh, no. Send a link in the private chat.
Copy linkage.
Oh when's
no!
Buckeye gonna get back?
I don't know.
That was so funny though when he came back and we were trying to explain to him what the conservative.
Hang on! I sent the wrong. That's the wrong link. Hang on. That just links to the article. No, I don't want to reverse. I want to open image in new tab. There.
I'm so glad like the Republicans in America don't do this. Imagine Marjorie Taylor Greene doing a power pose, dude.
Oh,
that would suck.
Frank Walter Steinmeier.
Oh, what is this, Boris? What is this? Look at his face, dude.
He looks like he doesn't want to be there.
Looks like he was caught. Like this was like a sighting. Like he was caught leaving his house or something. It's like
Boris Johnson caught power posing on his morning walk.
I like to imagine that that's just like built into every conservative leader, like in like just to power pose as much as possible, you know. It's like,
while they're stretching for their morning jog, they just power pose.
It's like they can't go like 10 minutes without doing it. Like it's like an addiction. Now, have you seen the Liz Truss one? Like that one was the worst.
I saw that. Yeah, it was so bad.
Yeah.
You know, like in all honesty, like for all this talk about how the globalists are going to take over the world, like, I don't know. I don't really sense that happening because, I don't know. You look at all like the climate goals that are being placed around the world, they keep getting pushed back. So,
Well, no, because no one can follow them. It's like,
well, and the other
like, yeah,
thing
we're gonna
is
cut
like,
like 50% of our carbon in the next 3 years. Like, no one can do that. You've got like the German Green Party's pro coal now. You know, it's like,
they should be pro-nuclear if they're truly a green party, but I don't know why Germany is so against nuclear power. Like, it's like, so you want to restart the dirty coal power, which, I mean, I'm a big supporter of coal, but
no, the German Greens are anti-nuclear but pro coal. It's like that's what
the
Chernobyl has,
opposite.
like the idea of Chernobyl has just done that to people. It's like,
But it's like, again, like incidents like Fukushima and Chernobyl and 5 Mile Island or whatever it's called are like, those are one-off like
Mhm.
incidents. Two of them happened because of natural disasters, and the other one was because it was a communist mismanaged nightmare.
no, wasn't Chernobyl built in like a month or so? It was like it took
Oh
ridiculously
yeah,
short amount
they
of time.
skipped like every
They had like no safety
regulation.
precautions in place or something like that. Yeah.
They skipped a ton of
Yeah.
regulations during construction. I don't know. I mean, it's good to see the global right appears, even if some of them are kind of cringe. It's good to see the
Uh-oh.
global right's rising, though.
Okay, take this with a massive grain of salt. It came from an account named World Source News 24/7.
Oh boy.
They claim that South Korea's military has detected over 90 balloons presumed to have been sent by North Korea across the
Oh
Korean.
yeah, right.
Hey
Well, we have
guys,
to wait. I need to make sure, like,
I need to look this up, man. South
yeah,
Korean
because I'm not gonna fully
balloons.
put all my faith into an account because someone just posted in a group chat on Twitter.
Oh, it is real, apparently.
hey guys, I'm back.
Okay, dude, we have breaking news. So a bunch of like the North Korea just sent like 40 balloons over the border.
They're apparently they are full of propaganda leaflets.
Uh,
Oh, it's just, so these accounts are just like, oh, it's a war. No, they're just giving them.
It's literally like what the RAF did in Germany during World War II, where they dropped like British propaganda
yeah,
paper.
leaflets.
Yeah. Which, in the words of an air marshal, said did nothing but provide the continent with toilet paper.
Russia just announced they're establishing relations with the Taliban. I just saw that. It doesn't mean much, but
Hey, I don't know if you guys know or saw, but Herrera's within 10 with 55%.
yeah, I know. I
Okay.
mentioned that the other moment. No, we've been
Well, I just
talking
got
about
back, so.
we've been talking about the German Green Party for the past.
And
like,
how
10
they're
years.
pro coal but anti nuclear.
Yeah. Still better than the British Green Party, you know.
The British Green Party should be more popular than they are.
All the Irish Republican parties suck, though. They're all like immigration shills.
I really don't understand, like, what is it with like these European parties and being all about the climate stuff? It's just so annoying.
No, but then they always push them back.
I don't get it. It's just
That's
like
why-
like
that's why,
America
like-
is seriously like America and Canada are seriously the only two countries that aren't like completely retarded on the climate.
No, that's actually the reason that Hamza Yousaf had to resign as a leader of the. Why he actually got kicked out as First Minister of Scotland, because like he cut like because he was in a coalition government with the Scottish Greens, and what he did is he said that they're ditching the climate goals because like they weren't going to meet them, and then the Scottish so then he just kicked the Scottish Greens out of the coalition government. And then the Greens voted with all the other parties to do a no confidence vote and then just kicked Hamza Yousaf out. So that's what ended up happening.
You know, I should be working on my on my project for school right now, but no, I'm
No.
I'm talking about European politics.
Only nerds care about school.
Exactly. Real Chads care about, European political parties.
Exactly. The UK election's good. I would stream it if it wasn't on July 4th. You know.
I would vote Labor if I lived there. Honestly, like,
Yeah,
'cause,
honestly, yeah, I'm thinking
like,
that.
okay, I'm being real. Like, I've looked into Keir Starmer. Honestly, he doesn't seem terrible.
He's not too bad. Like
Like,
he's not gonna do anything. Like he's not gonna.
compared to Jeremy Corbyn, he is way better.
He kicked Jeremy Corbyn out 2 days ago. He kicked him out of the Labour Party.
Good.
Yeah. So now he's running as an independent, Jeremy Corbyn.
Like, okay, like he'll probably win, but
No, it's a toss up. No, it's funny because like there's this account on Twitter called Stats for Lefties, which is just like an anti-labor account. They're like, Labor's a center-right party, guys, and they're like super pro Corbyn. And like there was this one random person who posted a prediction that showed Jeremy Corbyn winning, and then Stats for Lefties tweeted it out like it was an official poll, and they were like, "New polling shows Jeremy Corbyn set to win his seat easily," and it's like, and like everyone was pointing out the source was just this random Twitter user's prediction. It's like,
oh, that's just what this guy thinks will happen. I don't know, Britain. I don't know. I don't know. Like Labor. Even I don't really like Labor either because like their more left-wing factions are kind of insane. I like Starmer. Hopefully Starmer like governs the way he's campaigning because he'll be okay. But if he caves into the far left part of Labor, then God help.
No, he's not going to. Like
I'm just saying hypothetically, if he does, then they're screwed.
Dude, the far left of Labor is being like kicked out day by day. Like they're literally doing a purge.
Well, they have because Starmer isn't an idiot, and he actually understands that in order to he knew that back when he took over in 2020, he knew that in order to take down the Tories, he had to pivot to the center.
He's just a new Tony Blair. That's all he is. He's not going to be great, but he's not going to be
Tony Blair sucked.
Like that's how Starmer's gonna be. The only case I would vote Conservative if I lived in the UK is if I was in one of those Scottish seats where it's like, because what you do in Scotland is if you're a unionist there, they have tactical voting where it's just like if you, it's basically to just stop the SNP at all costs. So like Labour and Conservatives like both agree to do it. So it's like, if Conservatives are looking better in this seat, you vote Conservative. If Labor is looking better, you vote Labor. So if I was in a seat where like you had to stop the SNP, I'd vote Conservative in that case, you know? Like, because like Scotland, it makes sense because the SNP just sucks that bad that it's like you'll vote whichever party you can, you know?
I'm surprised at how much you know about international politics.
I know, but it's...
I mean, it's interesting, but like I don't know. It's just not like I get it's important, but it's
more like, look, there's only so much you can learn about American politics.
Well, I mean, American politics is very like I've just been bored of politics because I mean, as it currently stands, like I don't know, Trump is the narrow favorite over Joe.
I think he's more than narrow favorite at the moment. Things can change.
All I'm gonna say is I have 2022. I have 2022 PTSD. Still.
2022 was different. Okay, Dems were up in the polls most of the year, and Republicans didn't take a lead till the end. Trump's been consistently leading for like a year. So that's the difference with the.
I'm still going into it.
I
with
just
caution.
still don't trust it. I don't know. I think Trump wins, but not by the margin that the polls have him up right now.
I mean, I would love to see Trump win Minnesota and make Illinois competitive, but it's not happening.
I think he's gonna. I think that it's gonna be unless because especially if these trials end up being complete nothing burgers. Here's the thing: the average voter is so anti-Biden. It's unbelievable. The
average voter doesn't care about Trump's trials, too.
Yeah.
The thing is that, that's the thing. It'd be one thing if it made no sense. 2022 was one thing because of low turnout. 2024, we know full well won't have low turnout. The pro-Trump base who didn't turn out for Dr. Oz is going to turn out for Trump. You know what I mean?
Well, obviously, because it's Trump's base.
So, I trust the polling this year a bit more.
Because I think what happened, and this is what, a lot of people theorized, was that in 2022, pollsters accidentally weighted a full turnout election for 2022, and that
Yeah.
gave Republicans inflated margins. But with
No,
the
they
turnout that actually
oversampled-
happened,
They oversampled the voters they undersampled in 2016 and 2020. That's what they did. No, but the thing is, if you talk to average people, the polls make sense. The average person who's not like affiliated with politics thinks Trump's going to win in a blowout. That's how they say. Like, you
oh yeah,
talk-
I
even-
know like
even if you
I
talk
know
to, like-
Democrats in
Yeah.
Minnesota who are admitting that Trump is the favorite, and
the
they
only
don't
people
like
who,
that. A
think
lot
Biden's,
of them
an
are
easy
like
favorite are these like shit libs on ET. You know, they're like the only people who like are saying this. The media is treating it like it's gonna be a like that. And the thing is, the media kind of wants Trump back in, and that's kind of why they're going.
because he was the best
More
thing that
Trump.
ever happened to them since the
Yeah,
Gulf
because
War,
they're like
so.
we need like that's the thing. Like that's why I disagree with so much of this like kind of fear mongering you see on the right, where it's just like the media is just trying to kill everything. They're trying to just. It's like no, the media cares about ratings. Okay, like who cares if Trump's not ideologically aligned with them? They want him because it's better ratings for them. Like that's what they care about. It's not about them having this agenda to destroy America. It's like no, they just want better ratings.
What I wonder about the electoral
Like-
map, like the only thing I'm questioning about a lot of these polls is like Trump is not winning Arizona by more than he did in 2016, if at all. Like that's what I don't like. Is like I don't
Look,
like
like,
there's polls
Nevada-
Trump was
Nevada,
6 in
we know-
Arizona. Like no way.
Polling always overestimates Republicans in Nevada, for example, but Arizona, I think that border crisis really hit that state in the past year, especially, has really hit that state. So I can
okay, like I could see Trump winning. Like I think Trump very well could win Arizona, but
No, he's
I
going-
don't think he's gonna win it by like
yeah,
7 or
but I
whatever they're
highly
saying.
doubt he's going to lose it because Biden's been up in one poll since May of 2023. Biden has led one poll in the state of Arizona.
And considering there will be higher third-party turnout, I'm sure that won't help Biden either.
Like, I can't see Biden winning Arizona. Like, the thing was, 2022, Kerry Lake was down in most of the polls right after
Until
the
the
primary.
end when they started sampling election day voters.
Like, that's the thing. So, like, and Kerry Lake at most led the aggregate by 3 points. Trump has been consistently up by like 5 to 6 in Arizona.
I don't think I think if Trump currently I'd say Arizona's like R plus 2.5 to 3.
Also, here's another thing too. All those polls in the summer of 2022 that showed the Democrats leading, when they pulled Biden versus Trump on the same ballot, Trump was ahead.
Oh, I
Like,
know. Trump was
that's
leading
the
the
thing,
polls
too.
all throughout
Like, it'd be
2022.
one thing if Trump was polling in line with like Dr. Oz the whole time, but when it was asked, do you like, it would show like Fetterman +5, and then it'd be like Trump versus Biden, Trump +2. You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
like
There's I
Trump
think
was-
what's
when he was
going to
on the-
happen,
yeah.
especially in a state like Pennsylvania, like there is going to be a lot of Trump Casey voters. A lot of those people exist. Like a lot of Trump voters like to ticket split, and it kind of annoys me. But also, I wouldn't want to vote for Dave McCormick, so
No, and another thing is like the reason this is very different than 2022 was Biden wasn't on the ballot in 2022. People
yeah,
are a
and
lot
Democrats
more
were
likely
able to
to
Democrats
vote
were able
for
to
a
distance
very
themselves.
popular, trusted Democratic incumbent, someone like Mark
Josh
Kelly,
Shapiro.
when they're not going to vote for Biden. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Kelly was like had like a +20 approval in Arizona. Biden has like a -25. You know,
And
So it's
also,
like-
Josh Shapiro in Pennsylvania was an extremely popular attorney general too.
And Republicans ran a schizo who was like talking about like fully abolishing abortion. What else was he talking? He was
Doug
talking-
Vember.
He wanted to ban gay marriage in 2022. Like, I'm sorry, that's not.
I mean, that's what.
like,
And then you notice in the states where
Mhm.
candidates weren't schizophrenic, like in I don't know, like what's a good example? Like North Carolina, how the candidates weren't schizo,
Yeah.
and all we won in North Carolina.
and even
For the
in
most part.
Wisconsin, where like Ron Johnson, even though he's very conservative, he like just took a moderate standpoint on a lot of issues. You
And
saw him
Johnson,
win.
as a result, won in a Biden
Yeah.
+4 state environment. So.
And the main reason Michaels lost was just because he was very non-charismatic. You know what I
because
mean?
Michaels came across as like a slimy businessman. That's why he lost.
And Evers was like he did quite a lot of good for the state, like economically. Like that's a fact. He's not a bad governor. I will say that.
That's the first time I've ever heard a Wisconsin Republican say that Evers wasn't a
Well,
bad
no,
governor.
because everyone wants to act like he's like evil because he's not like signing every single fiscal conservative policy to lend. But
People, I mean, to be fair, people like
he-
to act like he's Tim Walz of Wisconsin, but he's nowhere near.
no,
close
compared to
that
like
bad.
Tim Walz or Pritzker, Evers is great. Compared to Whitmer, he's great. Like even during COVID, like compared to the lockdowns Illinois and Michigan
Because
had,
Wisconsin had like a state that was like we recommend you stay home type deal.
it wasn't even called stay at home. It was called safer at home. Like it was just like it's safer at home. You can stay home, but like people still went out.
Herrera is slowly gaining.
Meanwhile, that Chicago and Zoomer, remember Buckeye? He was talking
Yeah.
about how
They put the military on the
they had,
beaches
like,
or the National
tanks on the
Guard.
beach in Chicago. It's like
Yeah, Minnesota.
Wisconsin might have had more strict things than Ohio did.
In Minnesota,
No,
from what
I
I've
no,
heard,
they
And less
didn't.
strict.
DeWine was very strict, I thought.
Yeah, you might have had like
DeWine,
at least from
yeah.
the state government, you might have had like less strict
Oh,
lockdowns.
we had way less strict than Ohio. I guarantee it. Yeah, we had like nothing.
Minnesota's lockdowns were brutal. Those were awful.
The only thing was businesses enforced it here, so it was like, but like there was not. They didn't have those circles, you know, in public places. You didn't see
Oh
those.
God, we
Remember
had those.
We never had those.
Well-
Well, I lived in a really Republican area then, though. Like, no, the state government wouldn't like have a lot of stuff that they would do, but then like a lot of local governments like just wouldn't follow it.
Yeah. No, but even in Milwaukee, we didn't see any of those. Like businesses would make you do that, but like you wouldn't see like those circles. It'd be like stand in the circles, you know.
Okay, in Minnesota, it really depended on where you were in the state. Like outstate Minnesota, nobody followed anything. Like
Yeah, no,
even
that's
in
how it was
Duluth,
here.
even in Duluth, which is like a more democratic-leaning metro area that's outstate, still like nobody like the mask mandate. I was in Duluth the day the mask mandate came into effect. The governor's like, you're gonna get fined like $300 if you don't wear a mask in public, and nobody in Duluth was wearing any, and the cops weren't enforcing it, and nobody cared. So, and that was in a pretty Democrat area. In the Twin Cities, it was a different story. The Twin Cities, everyone was super retarded.
There was a vote drop from Medina County, which is a suburb of San Antonio, and Herrera is at 46%.
Yeah, Herrera. As I said like a minute ago, Herrera almost gained a full percent.
Yeah. A lot of votes came in from there because it was like
Medina
60-40.
County, dude. That hits
I
close to
know.
home. Weren't you initially from Medina County, Buckeye? in
Yes,
Ohio?
that's where born and raised, as they say.
That's still
Texas
where
Copiness, I
Red
guess.
Ohio lives, right? Or does
No,
live
he
in-
lives in Wayne County.
My home is truly
Red
in
lives
Douglas,
Detroit, dude. That's crazy.
Nah, Wayne, Ohio.
I know.
It's where
Wayne
the
County, Michigan.
beautiful Worcester. It's where all the
Damn, this is narrowing quick.
Amish are.
Well, he might actually pull this.
46.4, another vote drop.
Ooh,
Oh my
he's down by 7.
Off. And it's 6.
Oh, he's gaining in Bexar. He's up to
Okay,
42 in
it's getting
Bexar.
real now.
And they
Not
count
by-
election. Oh, he might actually win this. Holy.
Oh, there's a chance. Wait, is there any betting markets?
Red Lion better not say
Dude, if we
anything
pull
right
this
now.
off, like this is
If
actually
Red Lion,
crazy.
if Red
I thought it was
Lion-
over.
I thought it was over like an hour ago.
Yeah, same. I mean, now
Okay,
it looks
good
likely
news,
actually
good news.
now.
Red Lion's last tweet was an hour ago, and it just says, "Welp, that's disappointing." Okay. So,
Is there any betting odds about this? No, there's
no,
I
they
doubt
don't.
it. Not for
They don't.
congressional races. I mean, there wasn't even a single poll for this race.
When
That
is
figures.
Predicted gonna win that court case? Like, it's like, I'm tired of relying on Polymarket to like see.
Polymarket sucks.
It does. Like, Predicted needs to win that court case because they're so much better. But
I think.
I don't mean
did Herrera just gain again, or am I tweaking?
Herrera.
Like by 0.1, like not much, but like a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me look back at
Let me
the
check
No,
list.
it's funny
decision
'cause
best.
Biden's the one suing Predicted, or his administration is. Like, they're the ones suing him.
The needle hasn't moved. It's still the same.
I'm
they've got
checking
a needle for
decision
this?
desk just to see if they have anything different.
They have a needle for this race?
Yeah, they do. I didn't even know that.
Well, he just said needle.
Yeah, I heard.
No,
Where
I
do you
meant
see
is
it?
in the margin.
Oh,
My bad.
oh.
I meant it's in.
I was like, New
Buckeye.
York Times is doing needles for
For congressional
It'd be
races.
cool. It'd be cool if they did.
for congressional primaries, dude.
For a low turnout congressional primary. Okay, I don't mean to change the topic back to like home counties, but technically speaking, my home county is Douglas County, Wisconsin. So, go figure.
Wait, you live in Wisconsin now?
No, I was born there.
I was born in Cuyahoga County. I lived in Medina County until last year.
Damn,
Born in Douglas, and then I lived in Carlton. Then I lived in Carlton, Anoka, Hennepin, and then Carlton again.
Dude, there's pro-China Nick Fuentes stands now. What is going on?
Oh my god.
Well, no, Nick Fuentes. It's actually funny because Nick Fuentes was like doing this.
Pro-China, at least.
He was doing an interview with this guy named Haas, who was like this mega communist guy, and it was funny because like Fuentes
Jackson.
went on and he said, "Oh yeah, if America was at war with China, I'd 100% go and fight for the Chinese."
Aw.
And even Haas was like, "What the hell, dude? Like, even I wouldn't go that far."
Jackson Hinkle.
No, Jackson Hinkle's just a Gaza account. It's funny.
Him and Fuentes got in an argument over
Most of
Gaza.
his account is just leftist now. So every time he makes a pro-Putin tweet, they're always like, "Oh, why are you supporting that fascist?" It's because like since he's become pro like a Palestine account, like all his fans are just resist libs and leftists. It's insane. Come on, report votes. Count some goddamn votes.
Look at Maverick County. Look at Maverick
They should just do what the UK does, where they just count everything and release it all at once.
Tony Gonzalez has got every single vote in Maverick County. It's 100%.
He's up. Oh, that's
got to be an error. Come on, like.
okay. There's no way Gonzalez. Okay, to be
But,
fair,
yeah, it sounds like that. Everyone's saying that's an error. So
okay.
To be fair, in the
Yeah. I
just
Texas
noticed
primary with Trump versus Haley, there was one county in a sea of red that voted for Haley.
Yeah,
that
what happened with that?
No,
Was
that,
that like-
apparently turned out to actually be real.
Really?
That was not a tabulation error.
Well, it's on Wikipedia for the primary now.
Yeah, I know. I
Red
looked
Lion
into
better
it. Apparently,
stay
that
off.
was legit.
Red Lion better not tweet again.
Red
Well,
Lion,
but
keep
this
your
doesn't
mouth
look
shut.
good. Tony Gonzalez is gonna win.
The only thing he got right was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he,
As badly as I wanted the Niners to win, I knew the Chiefs. I
No,
knew the NFL would rig it
no,
for the Chiefs.
I actually wanted to see like that whole boomer conspiracy come true. It like Travis
too.
Kelce to propose to Taylor Swift, and then
Just
them
like
to
we
just
drew
come
it
out
up.
and like endorse Biden for some reason. Like, remember the boomers were talking about that? That's what. That it was this big conspiracy, like.
Huh. Why have people on election Twitter resorted to ranking months?
Are you on Twitter, North Star?
Without an account, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I'm sorry, but this is breaking news. We can take a quick intermission for my.
I was
My
going
day-
on there to see if there was any updates
Okay,
about Herrera.
can we just admire this for a second? Can we
No.
The fall of the West.
No, it's the rise of the West.
The West
Why
is
should we be
fallen.
shilling for an island who's just a sore loser? You know, that's kind of
Well,
what
it's funny to make commies cry.
Well, exactly. I
Alright,
don't like commies.
We should kill a bunch of commies, guys. I'm edgy.
Al Carbo.
Yeah, that is El Carbo. He's like,
We should go to war with commies, guys.
I mean, he's not wrong. The only good
no,
comics
he
are
is
good
wrong. You're not America first. If you're like, oh, I'm anti-war in Ukraine. I think that's bad. But if Taiwan's invaded, I will donate my entire bank account to stop the commies. You know, it's like no, you can't have it both ways.
It's just like, how about instead of relying on some stupid island nation for all of our computer chips, just have
Just
Intel
bring
build
it
their
here.
crap
It's
here.
not hard. Yeah.
No, dude. Most of these right-wing people don't care about the chips. They're just like, I want.
Well, I know.
fight them.
They just.
The
Yeah.
only reason I
they
would
wanna-
strategically
they-
ever
they-
care about Taiwan is because of the computer chips, but I would just tell Intel and TSMC to build it here.
Yeah. Well, if
So-
they bring them here, I don't really care about Taiwan.
No, guys, America is still the promoter of global conservatism. You got to realize that, and China's the one pushing the progressivism.
even though it's technically us that's
I
pushing all the
wish.
gay pride parades in Kabul.
That's
and
why. That's
whatnot.
why Hungary is the most pro-China country in Europe, because they're very progressive. No, and I was
Hungary
actually
is,
talking
as
about.
we know,
I was talking to Carver about this in a Twitter space the other day, and he's like, "No, Hungary's actually very anti-China." I'm like, "No, they're not. Like, look into them." And he's like, "No, Orban knows that China's bad," and it's like,
how many hours
Then
of
why is
screen
he
time
like-
do you spend on Twitter a day? I'm
"Oh
just
no, I
curious.
was the other night. I was in a Twitter
Let's
space
pull up the
other night.
stats.
I'm not in a Twitter space every night. I'm actually not. I'm in them like once a week.
I've
Oh.
never been in a single one ever.
Well, because you don't even have a Twitter account, dude. Like,
Exactly.
look, it's one that I'm. Like,
Because life is just genuinely better without Twitter, you know?
also, I'm trying to be on more because like I'm gaining a lot more followers recently. Like I've gained like 100 in the past week, which has been a W. I don't know why, but I've just been gaining them, and they're not bots either. Like I thought they were good. They were just bots. The Dems are rooting for Herrera to win because they think that he'll lose the general. So that's interesting.
I don't think he'll lose the general. I think
Red
that's
Lion,
hoping.
keep your mouth shut. Amazing. I wonder who came up with that, Buckeye.
That was me.
Yeah.
I literally said that on stream and then I posted it.
I wonder where you got the idea from.
You said you looked at Red Lion's thing, so we have to keep him from to stay quiet.
Come on, Texas. Count more votes already. If this was California, it'd be at like 10%.
Yeah, why is it
still.
taking them so long? Like,
The steal is happening.
yeah.
The steal has been stopped.
Just trust me, guys. Trump will be reinstated as president by August 2021, guys. Just believe me.
No, it's funny because people have told me that China's bad because of their abortion rate, and it's like, you guys realize Russia's got the highest abortion rate in Europe. It's like that doesn't mean anything. And Hungary also has a pretty high abortion rate, by the way.
A lot of Eastern Europe does.
Mm-hmm. Traditional, like, no, because Pennsylvania King, this guy on Twitter, because I said I'd rather live in Denmark than the average Eastern European country, and he said that like that like you're showing you don't care about religion, you only care about there being no migrants, and I'm like, I mean, would you rather
That's-
live in a socially conservative country where there's like a bunch of crime on the streets, or would you rather live in like a more secular country that's at least safe? You know,
I would pick the one that has the safest streets and the best economy.
yeah.
That's what I
Like
would pick.
I would rather live in Denmark than live in Budapest. You know, like it's
Just
simply
like I'd rather live in like Japan than I would like.
I've heard
Poland.
Budapest is nice, but yeah,
Although-
I get your point. Like,
even
overall,
Budapest even is very progressive. It's like
Budapest is like the only real like progressive part of Hungary, from what I can gather.
yeah, there's riots there like all the time.
Well,
I
it's,
think Orban
yeah, it's
should move
Budapest.
the capital ideally. Like
move the capital.
Just relocate all of the
Capital of
government.
Hungary for
He's already
centuries. They have to
basically
move
a
it.
dictator. He can do whatever he wants. Like, I'm just being real. Not saying that's a bad thing either. It's just like, I mean, Fico is almost a dictator of Slovakia. He's like
Whatever-
using.
He's
shutting
all right,
down-
right?
What?
Like, he got shot. He's like fine, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But now
Yeah,
he's
okay.
like shutting down all the opposition media. Like,
Based.
yeah, he is. It's funny because he used to hate Orban during his first term, but now him and Orban are like best buddies because of immigration and Ukraine. Like
Didn't Orban get like voted out in like the 2000s and then voted back in again or something?
no, and it's funny because Orban used to use this Hungarian interest party in Slovakia. He would use it to like undermine Fico as much as possible, and now like that party is like propping up and like telling everyone to vote for Fico's party. It's like that's the realignment in Europe. It's insane. It keeps narrowing, dude.
I know it's like
It's 6
It's
points
crazy.
now. It's 6 points.
It's almost within 1,000.
If he actually wins, dude.
Oh boy.
Why are neocons on Twitter debating if Ariana Grande is better than Taylor Swift? Maybe they're worried. Is that what they do when they're worried? They just start ranking
they have nothing better. To do.
crappy modern musical artists.
They're coping.
GLP try not to use Twitter for more than 5 or try not to try to get
wanna
off
see
Twitter
what
for more than 10 seconds.
are. Dude, I want to see what the dude. It's an election night stream. Like I want to see what. And pamphlets just inform me that China cured diabetes. That's
Is that an honest question? Is that a troll account or no?
no? It's
Real?
unironic.
Okay. I thought it was real, but
No,
people were saying
they
like,
post a lot though.
okay.
But,
I was gonna say because I've seen like people like in DMs like in group chats saying like, oh, it's like not a real account. Like it's like bait.
no, it's real, but like they over exaggerate stuff and they
Okay,
admit
that's
it.
kind of what I figured. I just wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
I follow
get
them
rid of
because
Social
of how much they expose Malai for being a complete fraud, and they're mutuals of mine. So
He gained again 46.8.
Come on, Brandon, you can do this.
he's surging.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon, dude.
That hearing "Let's go, Brandon" brings me back to better times.
No, it's funny because I like most of Pamphlet's posts because I don't really like. I just scroll down and like pretty much most posts I should see on my timeline from accounts I know. And like El Carbo confronted me. He's more terminally online than me because he goes through my likes. Because like when I was on that Twitter space, he was like, "Why did you like this Pamphlets post a week ago talking about how the Tsar deserved to die?" And it's like, I don't know. I like a bunch of posts. It's like, why did you like mark that down that I like that post? And like, why is he going through my likes on a regular basis? That's a real question.
Me on my way to relax by playing a game that makes me unimaginably angry. So true.
Real.
I'm gonna relax after school. 10 minutes later, throwing my keyboard across the room.
Relatable.
Gas prices are down $1.40 from their peak after Russia's war, but they're still too high. Wow, Joe, why could that be?
No, but someone actually made a very good point that when like all these like trad people make these like Wojaks where it's like a family, it's literally just playing with dolls digitally. You know what I mean?
It is.
Like that's all it is. It's like it just.
I don't like those.
I hate
like
the
those people
stupid-
who are like.
I hate
who are
the
like,
trad LARP so much. It's
Oh,
annoying.
me too.
Yeah,
I hate the people
yeah.
who sit there and are like, my wife must not do anything with her life except stay in the house.
A woman belongs in the kitchen.
Burger King said women belong in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that Burger
King.
King. Did they tweet that out on International Women's Day too?
Yes.
Yeah.
They tweeted. I think so. It was like women belong in the kitchen. And then immediately they put right after it, flipping burgers if they want to, and it's like you're not. What was that?
Okay, in
Let
case
them
you
cook
wanted
again.
another reason not to support the AFD, Logan Sato supports them.
I don't know who that is.
Buckeye
It's a
knows
guy on
who he is.
Twitter.
Oh, story checks out.
He like abused his brother or something.
Supposedly.
No, he got arrested for it. So
I've heard that, but I believe you. I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
Well,
I've never. That's all I've
To
heard.
be fair, that's like saying we can't support the
But making
Republican Party.
okay,
because
I
Ryan
gotta
Bush
share
is
this.
part of it.
This is an actual ad they put out. Okay,
Who did?
just emergency. The AFD official.
Oh
account.
wait, is it? I think I saw that. Yup.
Official account, by the way.
Based. I'm voting for the. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna vote for the AFD even harder now.
Vote even harder.
I keep getting these spam texts from the DFL in Minnesota that are like, we need to stop Trump in this state. He's potentially gonna gain ground. And I text them, I'm voting for Trump even harder now. And then they either don't respond or they say, okay, thank you.
Look at the tweet I just sent in the private chat.
Oh my god.
Real.
So true.
No, it was funny when that AF
More of
post
this.
account during the primaries would always just be like,
Make the
Trump-
jokes like Nikki Haley intro.
Trump creams Haley for a third. No, and then be like, Trump gives Haley 5th consecutive pounding in South Carolina or something. It's like they were, and the pictures they would use too. Remember the pictures they'd use?
Yeah.
Okay, Rye Guy. So Rye Guy says in chat, he's talking about gas prices. Funny story today. Diesel was cheaper than all grades of gasoline today at my local gas station. I just thought I'd bring
Really?
that up. Yeah, diesel was $3.31 and everything else was like close to $4.
It's that bad in Minnesota?
Regular was only 4 cents more. Regular was $3.35. Mid grade was like $3.70. Premium was like $4.40.
That's like almost that's a little more expensive than Ohio, but not that much. It's like
And then
$3.50
diesel
here,
diesel was $3.25. I don't know what's happening there, but I don't know. Of course, I don't have anything that's diesel powered, so
We need Jim Cramer to say Gonzalez is going to win. Can someone pay him?
Yes.
Yeah.
We need Jim Cramer to predict that Biden's gonna win.
No, I'm told Biden can't lose because that Democratic operative Alan Lichtman said that he's favored.
Oh my God, Alan Lichtman, dude! Alan Lichtman
Didn't he
literally
change his
changed.
model?
He
had
changed
Trump
the keys
losing
in
in
2016.
He had Trump
He-
losing, so he changed his model afterwards to show Trump.
Dude, no. So on 2016 election night, he changed his prediction midway through the election, like while the votes were being totaled, so he could be right. He predicted Clinton would
he
win, and then
predicted
in
both.
at like 7:30 on election
he came
night.
out on 2 different occasions and said in one of them Clinton would win, and the other one he said Trump would win. That was the one that got a bunch of media attention because no one was saying Trump would win.
Mhm.
And then afterwards he was like, "Look, I was right." And it's like, dude, you predicted both. So then
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
If we're gonna
predict
go off
both
the
Trump and
13
Biden winning,
keys-
and then say whichever one was right.
And
I'll
let's
make two.
not act
I'll
like
make
this
two
guy's,
final predictions on election night.
let's not act like this dude's objective. Or he literally wrote a report why he thinks Trump should be barred.
It was called the case. It was called the case for impeachment, and he wrote it in 2017, even though Trump didn't do anything wrong.
No, and then even recently he wrote an article about why Colorado should the Supreme Court should have upheld the Colorado decision. He's not
Dude,
objective.
he needs to shut up. I legitimately hate Alan Lichtman.
Okay, in good news though, Rachel Beitkoffer, who's seen as a massive Democratic strategist lady, she said the election's a tie right now, which means Trump's probably going to win in a landslide. So
Yeah, Dems are actually starting to panic. Like a few months ago, they were just like, "Oh yeah, the polls are fake. We're gonna win." But now they're
No,
like, "It's neck and neck."
it
Or
was
we're
funny
even
because
losing.
all these people were saying that RCP, more like Republican clear politics. Let's wait for 538's average, and then 538 comes out and shows Republican or Trump up more than RCP had. And now they're not talking about that for some reason. I wonder why.
The only I
What's
don't know.
Trump
I
gonna
don't
look at
I don't know what the
538?
electoral map is. The electoral map this election is going to be. It's either going to be really cursed or it's going to like be a Trump landslide, or not a landslide,
Can
but
they just report votes? I got stuff I gotta do. Like,
Dude, it's 10 o'clock. You're staying up after this?
yeah.
Bro.
man, I got a project to be working on. Can they like do something already?
I got a
I'm
final
already
tomorrow.
done with I'm already done with all my schoolwork for the semester, so it's like
Man, I got a freaking web design project that I've been putting off for like almost 2 months.
I don't even have exams till next week, but I'm just done with everything early.
I have one final exam next week, and that's it.
I don't even need to worry because I've got good enough grades that like I'll pass every class. I could get 0 on all the exams, so it's like
I'm doing good on everything except web design. The only reason my web design grade sucks is because like I have the project which is marked as missing. But whatever.
Trump's up 1.4 on 538 right now. And yeah, I think it's decent. Emerson had him up 5 the other day.
I don't think he's gonna win the popular vote by 5.
No, he's not. I'm just saying that's what they
I
have.
wish he would, but it's not gonna happen.
That's how it is. They have him only up 2 without third parties. That with
Okay, if Trump wins the popular vote, it's gonna be by like 1.
I'm actually leaning towards I think he wins it, especially with the third parties on the ballot. Like that's the thing. Because look, I think if Republicans are going to win the popular vote, it's going to be this year. Because people, even on the right, I think underestimate how disliked Biden is. That's the thing, even compared to Trump. Because look at 2020, Biden had a 51% favorable rating,
and he still barely won.
He barely won. So like now that Trump has actually gotten slightly, he's dropped a tiny bit from 2020. Biden's dropped a lot.
Actually, Trump has improved, hasn't he?
No, it's about the same. It's about
Ward County was the only county that it was not reporting yet. Finally, did. It's basically a dead heat, but Herrera went up overall.
It's approximately 6.2 at the moment. It's gonna be a nail biter, you know.
It's gonna be a repeat of the Bailey race.
Yeah, I know.
No, Bailey was up for a lot of it though, so.
I think this is like the last chance there's gonna be to. Fuck. I think this is the last chance that there's gonna be to actually like primary out an incumbent other than maybe Bob Good. I think this is one of the last chances that they're actually realistically.
Bob Good's done at this point. Like,
yeah. I'm saying I think this is like other than that, I think this is the only chance the last chance that there's gonna be to primary out an incumbent.
Joe Biden.
Northern Irish politics is so weird, though. Like, the only reason Irish Patriots tweeting about that because he's from Northern Ireland, obviously, but like, they got the Unionists who are just anti-immigration, and then everyone else is pro-immigration.
Wow, that's crazy.
Thank you.
But they've got like 8 billion Republican parties. It's weird.
Wow.
David Wasserman just called it for David Wasserman. That's crazy.
Whoa.
Dave Wasserman called it for Dave Wasserman.
Has Dave Wasserman ever been wrong on a call?
I don't think so.
Who am I thinking of that called Biden the winner in North Carolina in 2020? Someone on election night did that, and they like were completely wrong. I forget who. I think it was LTE. Like LTE during his election live stream called North Carolina for Biden, and then like right after he
did?
did that, yeah, I think so.
I don't remember
They're-
that.
Remember
They're-
Virginia
he might
election
have,
night
but-
where he had those like, you guys remember that? He had like a bunch of girls on for some. Remember that?
Oh yeah, the
Virginia
2021.
one,
yeah.
yeah.
And he was
It's
like on
what
the verge of
hell? Like
tears.
everyone tuned in. It's like, did he buy them or something?
He was like on the verge of tears because Youngkin was ahead.
Wasn't he like a? I wonder if he supports Larry Hogan because I know he loved Larry Hogan.
He claims he's a Republican, but he's from Maryland. So
No, but he loved Larry Hogan. Like he would like talk about that.
oh well, of course.
I wonder how
Larry-
close Hogan's gonna get.
Larry Hogan probably touches kids.
We know Dominator did. Or no, he just loves when they call him Dom. Dude, you don't Dominator. Bucko, you want to explain to him Dominator?
No.
Oh.
No.
Do I not need to know that?
Not really, no, and not
He
on
was
a
a massive
public
Larry
live
Hogan.
stream either.
He was a massive Larry Hogan stan on Twitter, and
And he did some
It's
interesting
always
stuff.
on Twitter.
And he did some
Wow.
interesting stuff in DMs.
Oh well, so
Yeah.
Ryan Cook.
no,
Basically,
he said, "I love when you call me Dom."
Okay, yeah, I didn't need
to a
hear that.
minor.
Gen Z Patriot announces he's no longer supporting Trump because of his endorsement of Bob McGuire. Whoa. The Mormon from California who can't even vote isn't voting. It's done. I don't think Trump can win anymore, you know?
It's over.
It's so Jover.
Trump is going to lose California. This is...
Whoa, I didn't know that. You're telling me this for the first time.
Yeah. No, it's like Nikki Haley. Like that the fact she won DC and Vermont, I can't see Trump winning those states in November, you know?
Oh man, I just, I don't know. I have a good feeling that Trump's gonna win, Maryland, of course, because Larry Hogan, obviously.
The
As we all know.
coattails, dude. No, because I've seen coattails. Like some of these Libby T people have said that like coattails will help Biden do better in Ohio from Sherrod Brown. I'm
What?
like, what are you talking? I've seen them.
Trump will be the entire reason Brown loses. Bernard Moreno.
Feel the burn.
A Bernie bro. He's a Bernie bro. I'm still not over Dolan. I wanted Dolan so bad.
Matthew Dolan.
No, because what's his name? He came out in favor of amnesty, Moreno. Or what did he say? He said something.
What?
No,
What?
Moreno said something stupid on immigration recently.
He did?
Yeah, I forgot what it
And
was.
he came out in favor of amnesty when?
No, it wasn't. It was something else. I forgot what it was. Or no, he came out in favor of like the visas or something.
Immigration's like a make or break issue for me. So if he actually did say that, then
Yeah,
I'm gonna...
I don't
Or
remember
it's like, I
hearing
prefer him
that.
to Sherrod Brown, of course, but it's like Dolan would have been better. I know Rust Belt was like, how could Trump endorse Bob McGuire over someone who endorsed a primary challenger to him? Oh yeah, did you guys see that video that on Twitter, Buckeye? Were you fortunate enough not to see that video?
You got to be more specific than that.
Oh, look
That's
at that.
that's not very reassuring.
Because I saw that video.
I don't even want to know.
I'm guessing I haven't because
It was
I don't know what
in
you're talking
Sweden. There was like this girl sitting on a fence, and then an immigrant walked up and
Oh, and then immigrant stuff happened. Okay.
and does what they do best.
no, it wasn't that. It wasn't like he just he relieved himself. Let's just say.
It was actually not as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was
yeah.
gonna be worse.
I needed to clarify that because
I thought I was gonna hear some like
Rust Belt
borderline
is
like
in chat.
illegal.
Let's go.
How could someone support Rust Belt? You literally support Russia, who has the highest abortion rate in Europe, highest HIV rate in Europe, highest immigration rate in Europe. Russia is not a conservative country. I know you're like, I like Russia, but I hate China. It's like, no. So you don't get to do that, because Russia is not conservative. Like, I hate to break it to you. Like, Eastern Europe is significantly more conservative than Russia is. That's a fact.
Wow, 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 wow.
No, I'm not saying I care about abortion. I'm just saying from your own perspective. I don't hate Russia, but I think that, like, this right-wing view, like, I think we should have better relations with Russia because I don't think we should be in a war. I don't think we should have better relations with Russia because there's some right-wing traditional paradise, okay? That's the difference. Because...
Thank you, main populist. I just want to point this out. This is some brilliant analysis from a longtime viewer. If Herrera gets over 50% of the vote, it is statistically impossible for him to lose.
Whoa,
True.
really? If the candidate gets over 50%, they can't lose? I didn't know that.
Big
Real
if true.
American popularized that theory.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was like, if the Democrat gets under... No, if the Republican gets over 50%, it's mathematically impossible for them to lose.
Whoa, really?
I remember.
I didn't know that.
Who let rap cook?
That was the one time he was right about anything. Except Virginia. To be, he had a very bad. He had Washington Senate as a lean D.
He was a little over optimistic.
He was even more so than he had New Hampshire as like lean R.
Wait, is this
For
Real American?
Bolduc?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, his
He had Trump winning New
predictions-
Hampshire in 2020.
His
because of the
predict
county.
New
Yeah,
Real
No,
American.
do you remember the in his 2020 live stream, like when Trump was
Yeah,
up
I
in Virginia
watched-
for the early vote, and they were like going crazy, thinking he was gonna win.
Dude,
No,
when
they
he
were
was
saying he was
leading,
gonna
when he was
win Rhode
leading in the
Island.
DC suburbs briefly, they were like, the swamp loves
No,
Trump.
that Dem he always has on his streams dooms so much every single time. He was like, I think Trump's gonna win Virginia. No, but that Dem, that James guy on Twitter, he's a super partisan Democrat, but he always dooms all the time.
My name's
Probably because he spends all his time talking with like real American politics. He's always
It was
just like,
super like
Republicans
overall,
are winning in a landslide. So then he's like, oh no, we're screwed.
and then
'Cause,
they
like,
end up winning.
He predicted Dan Kelly would win.
Did he? Wait, he
Oh,
did.
wait, I
totally.
thought he said Protestawitz would win by like 3.
Yeah, I
thought
thought he
that's
said
what he
like
said.
Protest Day was by like 2. Or
I had her
something.
winning by 8. So
I
pretty-
think my prediction was like I think I said Protestawitz plus 8. And
Okay,
I wasn't-
Buckeye, I'm making a commitment. If Brandon Herrera wins, we will tomorrow. You have to go live, and we will react to the Incel Revolution video by What If Altist. If Herrera wins tonight, okay, we have to.
I
make
like
this
Can't
on
promise
Altist.
you that.
Then it's sometime in the near future. We have
Oh,
to do that.
yeah, not like tomorrow, but like sometime in the
Yes.
future, maybe.
And you know what, let's just do that anyways, because I want to react to the What If Altist video about the Incel Revolution.
he's not. He's pretty good.
No, but then he made a video called "Declaring War on the Internet," where it was just
He challenged all these people to debate. Yeah, that was funny.
That
no,
was
and it
that was
just him with his neck beard sitting in like a gaming chair. Week-long stream.
oh Rudyard never change.
What are your thoughts on Lud Gludskin Griper, dude?
I'd love it. More of this.
We need a Xi Jinping Griper. I think that's the only way to save the West or East, depending on your perspective. It's actually funny though how like Nick Fuentes is more moderate and actually makes sense on the Palestine conflict when Jackson Hinkle just doesn't know what he's talking. Like they were actually having a debate and Nick Fuentes was actually making sense because Nick Fuentes was like, we should support the Palestinian Authority because they're correct in advocating a two-state solution and like acknowledging that both Benjamin Netanyahu and Hamas are the problem. And then Jackson Hinkle just came in and said, Hamas are freedom fighters, guys. Okay? And like Nick was actually making sense on it. It was actually kind of funny. Why is no one talking? Like, come on. We
I don't
gotta.
know. I'm bored.
I'm trying to think of a foreign country's politics. Because that gets North Star talking, you know? It's like I'm trying to think of another interesting one. Talked about Portugal. We talked about Spain, France, Netherlands. Yeah, they're pretty disappointing. And now he muted. Come on.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
No, he just muted like a second ago. I'll probably be back in a second.
Check private chat.
I see. No, I remember this one time that like it was an election you were on and you sent me the link. And like you were watching the election and I joined and like North Star and Left Right were on and they saw I was in the private chat and they just didn't tell you I was in and they just kept trolling me and I was just and they were like, let me on, let me on. And then Left Right and North Star were just in the chat and they were just like, nope, we're not telling them. We're not gonna tell them. That was great. Why is Buckeye muted now? Is this just, now that I got this stream to myself, I think we should. Brandon Herrera is someone who needs to win. If he loses, the West will have completely fallen. Society will have completely collapsed. And we are going to have to leave this country. Because Tony Gonzalez is a woke rhino neocon. Okay? And we cannot survive with him serving in a Republican caucus. And Jake Paul will also leave the Republican Party. I know, this is shocking. Okay, enough of this. Okay, test. Should be working still. That is so true, North Star. Jay Cutler will become POTUS President of the United States. I will read chat. Neba. React to America First with Nicholas J. Fuentes. That would unfortunately get Buckeye's channel immediately banned because Nick is currently banned on YouTube. I do not like that. I like freedom of speech. So unfortunately, we cannot react to that.
What happened?
I've been talking into the mic about the need to primary out rhino neocons.
Real.
No. In reality, it's like Nevada Man's talking about Jake Paul announcing a run for Senate in the foreseeable future. And to read the chat about immigrants, I don't know what chat about immigrants. Buckeye, can you read chat Nibba, please?
What about immigrants? I don't see it.
Oh, damn. Oh, it's below. It's 5% now. Damn.
Oh, good call. Oh, he flipped Medina County.
Your home county.
We did it. We're putting him over the top. We're so back.
Maverick County's got to be, but like, dude, this is getting close.
I might actually pull it off.
I know Herrera's from Bexar County, so maybe it won't be too much of a landslide. This is way closer than I expected, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, it appears that Dade Phelan's about to lose his lead. He's only up by like 1 right now. And it's like there's still 30% outstanding, so he's probably going to lose. Remember, like earlier, we were talking about how it's over, let's just make this a normal news stream.
Yeah, now we're still here. I was gonna end this at 9 because I thought it was over and we'd just be talking about random stuff, but no.
I mean, we were kind of earlier. We were just
Yeah, but I was also
German.
gone for a little bit.
We were
so,
talking about the German Green Party.
Yeah.
I'd support immigration if more immigrants peed on women. Oh, that's an interesting take. I cannot condone that take, but that video was funny. It was kind of funny, I'm going to be honest. But like I don't condone, but it was kind of funny. I don't want to see it happen, but like seeing it happen once was kind of funny. But like we shouldn't normalize that. Okay? It shouldn't be normalized. Like I think people should be able to walk down the street without having to be pissed on, you know.
That's a hot take right there.
Yeah, I know it's a radical take. It's a white nationalist take in some parts of Europe, but it can get you charged with a hate crime in some parts of Europe too. W Muslim L woman. I guess that is the incel perspective. You know, we gotta respect our incel brethren. You know. Like Nicholas J. Fuentes, like El Carbo, like Dade Phelan, like Mark Kirk. He was an incel.
Oh, big drop. 51-48. 77% in. Well, 52-48.
Damn, Baxter's narrowing a lot. Oh, is he actually gonna do it, dude? Is he actually gonna do it?
I mean, dude, it's gonna be razor thin.
Someone needs to shut off the internet access to Marquette County, like immediately. Tell NSEP.
Oh, main populist with a great
dude,
take
look
here.
Look at the race. Look at the race. Look at the race.
Look at the
I know.
results.
I know. I've been watching. Main populist says, I have a theory that if Gonzalez gets less votes than Herrera, it is statistically impossible for Gonzalez to win.
I mean, many have been saying this. Many people have been saying this.
I don't know, man. I'll believe it when I see it.
Can he do it? Look, Bexar County is only a 10-point race now. You know, it's like
if Brandon Herrera gets more votes than Tony Gonzalez,
it's gonna come
Brandon
down
Herrera
to Bexar
win.
County and Ward County. Those are like the only two big population centers.
Guys.
where's Ward?
Guys, if
Ward,
Brandon
yeah.
Herrera gets
Where
more
is
votes than
Ward?
Tony Gonzalez,
It's like top. It's like small county. It's like kind of near the top, like near the Panhandle.
I see. Dude, I don't think it's gonna be that big. There's like it's 50% in, and there's 600 votes. So
It had a
like,
lot. Well, there still a few, maybe like a few hundred votes out there.
yeah,
It's
but
gonna be
that's
razor.
not-
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be razor thin. So it's just like semi.
Yeah. So is El Paso. El Paso is very thin, but again, only 200 votes.
Yeah.
So.
Dade Phelan for president 2028, guys.
Valverde County as well, but Herrera's already up there.
Damn, I just found out GOP Josh is apparently converting to Judaism. That's
Wow.
crazy.
Klaus
Stop.
Schwab must have gotten to him.
Josh. He looks like a squash. Get it. Hey,
He looks like a squash. Wow.
hey, Dan. My name is Ben. I'm gonna bend over. Oh, Ohio. No, dude, that was a GLP Josh rap that this kid. No, so there was this dude, who was named like Minnesota something. He was a liberal kid from
Oh
Minnesota.
yeah, it was like Minnesota perspective. I debated him once.
No, but he was this kid from Minnesota, and
I
he
know
went
him.
on Omegle during a live stream, and there was this like autistic black kid who like made these freestyle raps, and he told them to do a diss track on GLP Josh. They just came out, and he was like, Josh, he looks like a squash. Get a
I have the video saved. I'll send it to you.
yeah. Play it on
Send it to me
stream,
too.
dude.
Dude, I remember like I went into one of his streams and like he was talking about how like anti-establishment politicians are like bad for society. That Minnesota kid.
He became like a pro-life Democrat now. He's weird. He's like the opposite of me.
He's like a Biden shill, but still like pro-life. It's weird.
Dude, he loved
opposite-
dude. I
he's the
remember in
opposite of
2022
me.
he loved Tim Walz.
He is legit. Like his opinions are the exact opposite of mine. It's Karsten.
Bizarro world GLP. He's from Minnesota instead of Wisconsin.
He's from the
He's super pro
Minneapolis
Biden, but also
suburb.
pro life.
And he's a Humphrey stan too. I'm a
Yeah.
Nixon.
Oh my god, dude. The amount of like Walter Mondale and like Hubert Humphrey stands in Minnesota, there are legitimately Trump voters in the state who voted who will probably unironically vote for like Keith Ellison. They
I
exist
probably
in
would have voted for
Minnesota, and it's like
I probably
why?
I probably would have voted for Mondale.
Well, I don't know because like I don't know
Well,
how
like,
I don't know how to pick probably Mondale just because of trade protectionism. That's probably it.
and
like-
Reagan was he legit like gave all that amnesty, and he was shit on the Second Amendment.
I don't understand why it's like.
Well, with
Reagan-
hindsight, without hindsight though, that was after '84. So
Without hindsight,
He was always-
okay. If
dude,
I
he
had
was always
hindsight,
pro-immigration. Like back when he was running in 1980, he was pro-immigration. He said early on in his presidency that like anyone could become an American. You know, you could be from anywhere in the world, and you come here, you step on our soil, you're an American now.
well,
It's
yeah,
like,
but the actual policy was what I meant. Like,
but still, I don't trust anyone with that kind of rhetoric. You know, if you're like,
that's what I don't know. I honestly think I would have just held my nose and voted for Mondale probably.
it's like I understand why socially conservative people would like Reagan because he made the party very socially conservative, especially on like abortion, for example.
Which
But, like,
surprises me.
If your main issue, like mine, is immigration, there's no reason anyone should be standing Reagan.
My main three are trade, immigration, and guns. Those are my main three.
Yeah,
Trade
I've
and
really- I've
immigration. Okay, immigration.
I've really moderated on like a lot of the cultural issue because a lot of it just comes down to you can't enforce this stuff. You just need to have a more moral society. Like that's the fact. Like, and you can't enforce morality. Like
You need to do it through slow, like incremental,
you have
like
it has to be
societal
done at the
changes.
personal level. That's how it is.
You need to have like policies that don't enforce it, but rather promote personal like morality. That's what you need.
Exactly. That's what you need.
You know, like what Hungary does with having children. For example.
Politics should not be a morality game. Politics should be a game of what's the policy for the country. Should we support letting in millions of immigrants a year? I don't think so. Should we support being involved in every corner of the planet to spread free market capitalism and democracy? No, I don't think we should. You know? Like
I don't really think that either, honestly.
these are the big issues of the time.
I don't know. Like Reagan, I don't know, like without hindsight, I don't know, like I probably would have still picked Mondale just because Reagan like really neglected middle America. And that's
Also, dude, don't reload the page. That actually makes it take longer to load because it
okay.
like crashes the page sometimes. Like that's a fact. Like reloading election pages is a bad thing. Just
Dade
for
Phelan leads by 400 votes. Not
Yeah,
even.
I'm pretty sure he won.
No. There's 85% in, Phelan was up 70-30 like 2 hours ago, and now
Ken
he's only ahead by
Paxton
400
just said
votes.
that Dade Phelan won because of Democrats.
Nobody likes Dade Phelan, dude. Not even Democrats like Dade. Like, not even Democrats nor Republicans like him. Nobody likes him.
The Democratic candidate just released an internal out of Colorado's 4th that has Boebert losing 41-27 against the Democrat in the general.
In the East one or the Mountain?
Yeah, in the East one. I highly doubt
Really?
that. Yeah,
That's a district that voted for Trump by like 20.
Yeah, that's like a Alabama
he's
of
the type of
Colorado.
person to like make that. Oh. Dude, ban GOP Josh Groiper, please. He's talking about Brett Cooper picks. I think you should remove him.
Brett Cooper isn't even like that great, to be honest. She's all right.
No, my
I've
friend.
never really watched her.
One of my friends was like a massive shill of hers. He'd be like, I get all my news from Brett Cooper. It's like, I hope. And like
She
that
does
dude
her
was
job well.
That dude was a massive Israel shill too, and it's like, I'm like, yeah.
She works for the Daily Wire. What do you expect?
Well, look at who it's headed by. Now, of course, that has nothing to do with why that might be.
It's just a coincidence. Purely.
It's just that, like earlier about Claudia Scheinbaum, I don't like her just because it's
The only
coincidentally.
good thing about the Daily Wire is Michael Knowles, because he's pushing back on all these idiots who are like,
Pope Francis is a left-wing extremist. Okay.
Yeah, I like Michael Knowles just for that alone.
What about Matt Walsh?
I've never really listened to him.
He sucks. He's annoying as shit.
My problem with Matt Walsh is good on rhetoric, but Matt Walsh he really annoys me when he keeps he's just such a negative Nelly. That's why I don't like him.
Do not talk about that new show they just put out. What was it?
Mr. Bertram.
Oh God.
Like,
I don't know, Walsh gets really annoying with that.
I don't allow pronouns in my class.
It's like maybe that would have worked in 2015, but Mr. Bertram reaction stream.
we should do that. I should pirate it. We should react to it.
If Dade Phelan wins, we have to subject ourselves to that.
Yes.
I can totally.
They have it for free. Someone got it for free, so
yeah, you can. I mean, you can probably find it online in 5 minutes.
We have to do this if Dade Phelan wins.
He did. Literally, as you said that, I got a notification that he won.
We have to subject ourselves to that.
Phelan's currently he's only up 400 votes with 85% in.
Yeah, why is everyone saying he won?
What? They haven't called it yet. All of the counties that still have votes to report are overwhelmingly favoring his challenger. Orange and Jasper counties both have under 90% in, and they're both going to Covey by over 10.
I'm making
count the votes. Oh my gosh, dude!
Everyone's making their PFP Brandon Herrera now. Thank God, Redline has not said a word. Last post, that was disappointing 2 hours ago. Let's go.
Come on, Brandon. Dude, why is Texas not counting votes, dude?
Dude, I thought Texas was counted fast.
Dude, normally in general elections they count within 3 hours.
For the night and leave everyone on the seat. It's like
yeah. We're not going to count any more votes tonight.
Hey, remember when we were only supposed to be on here for 30 minutes to an hour?
I was supposed to end the stream at 9 o'clock.
It's over, guys. He's up 20 points. It's done.
Dude, I like how at the start of the stream we were all like, Herrera's gonna lose.
Let's talk about the German Green Party.
Let's talk about the AFD.
This is one of the longest streams you've done.
That wasn't Rust Belt, boys. Bring that back, please.
No, my favorite stream I did actually
we have to hold out for Brandon Herrera. What can I say? Was the Republican debate stream back in August of last year. That was a fun stream. We had Sped Nationalist on. Gen Z
Sped
Patriot.
Nationalist?
Yeah.
What?
He's a guy
Sped Nationalist?
He's a guy.
You did not just say Sped Nationalist.
He's a guy from Twitter, dude.
Oh, he's from Twitter. Oh, wow.
That clears it up.
No,
that really clears it up.
Now he's changed his name to Sped Eric Humpty. He's like a
Sped nationalist. What?
now he's Sped Eric Humpty, Stan.
80% in.
He went down a point.
I
Oh,
don't know. Bexar County still has to report. Wait, never mind.
If
Might
all
be a
remains
tabulation
election day, that could help Herrera. I swear, if he wins, if Gonzalez wins by like 0.1, I'm gonna like.
Yeah, I'll be so pissed.
I want to
Dude.
see him do those gun reviews in Congress.
Like
I
on the
swear to
House
God,
floor.
I swear to God, if Gonzalez wins by like, Gonzalez is probably gonna win by like 0.03, probably.
This is like the one W a YouTuber ever took getting this close in an election.
Come on,
Yeah, we gotta keep it.
like,
It's really gonna come down to Bexar. It's only
This
79%
means- okay,
in.
This will
and
mean
Herrera's
that
been gaining.
okay, if Herrera wins this, that means Wendigoon has a 100% endorsement record. Okay, because this is the one candidate Wendigoon has ever endorsed. Think about that.
True.
we don't
so,
talk
like-
about my prediction record. It's oof.
Or Trump's endorsement record. You know that will mean that Wendigoon has the best endorsement record in the country. You know, think about that.
Well, I'm more so talking about my election prediction record and how.
Also, I don't care what Wendigoon
terrible.
said or whatever about how he was like, I'm not right wing. He is. He just isn't gonna say that because he goes.
Because a lot of his followers are like left wingers.
He goes on Herrera's podcast like every other week, and he like agrees with them on all their politics. Like he just counts on his fans not watching him. Like,
But
Yeah, if
what,
they
what
ever like
about,
actually
but what
listen
about
to it, it's over.
but what about Sped nationalist?
like he was making fun of Biden on their last episode. And shit. It's so funny because Herrera and everyone on there isn't very religious, even though they're like super right wing. And like Wendigoon comes on and he's like giving them Bible lessons. It's hilarious.
But Sped nationalism.
I don't like Wendigoon doesn't like Catholics though. It's unfortunate, but he talks about how he doesn't agree with Catholics.
Yeah, well, Wendigoon probably lives in New Jersey.
No,
Tennessee.
he lives in
Joke.
Tennessee. He's a
Same
he's
thing.
not
New
very-
Jersey, Tennessee, same thing.
He's not like a liberal Protestant though. He's like, but he's like,
I mean,
don't
Buckeye, as
trust-
we know, New York and New Jersey are the
He's
same
one of those
state.
people. He went like conspiracy. He was like, I don't trust the Pope. I don't trust him. He's scary. Like he says
Fire
that.
diarrhea.
But he said they're better than Mormons at least. I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, well, you know, a bag of cereal is better than a Mormon.
Don't tell Braxton Foley that. Also known as Gen Z Patriot.
Oh,
Listen
is that the
to-
dude who like obsessed over doing push-ups on stream? Or am I tripping?
No, he was the dude who came on my New Year's stream shirtless and like jumped in a pool.
Oh, okay, that was who I was thinking of then. Okay.
He did a stream shirtless once in front of his boomer audience.
No one wants to see that.
No, because this is what he would do. He would just make basic ass arguments where he'd just be like, I love Trump. He's an American patriot. And then all the boomers would be like, very, very insightful young man. You give me hope for the future.
Gen Z.
And then some, Buck, this is deep lore, but back in early 2021, on the Discord, this was long before you. You weren't you didn't come around to the community till like August. But
Yeah.
like everyone on his Discord made an OnlyFans account that was just OnlyFans. And like they posted the link. It was a dead link. It didn't go anywhere, but it was funny because for a while there was an OnlyFans account registered as Gen Z Patriot.
How did you guys like meet to go on the Discord server? Like,
Rowan Murdoch. Because I would debate that guy in my comment section.
and then
I
he
got him on
invited you.
Discord.
Oh,
I got him on Discord then, and then he was like, "Yo, you should join this because like at the time, like I was conservative, but like I would make fun of like the boomer cons, And like he was like, "Oh, there's this schizo teenager who runs this YouTube channel on Discord," and he said he's affiliated with Gomez Media because I knew Gomez back then.
Oh, Gomez, dude, I forgot about him.
The sweater wore, dude.
Yeah, the hoodie.
He wore like an AR-15 like jacket, and the school took it, and he was like, he had lawyers.
He was gonna go on Tucker
He
Carlson.
came on Gen Z's Iowa caucus stream, and he was like, he was rating like female actresses like a few months ago. Like he fell off big time. He was like, "Yo, guys, we're gonna do a tier list of these babes, guys. I'm like, dude, this is the Iowa caucus stream. Like, what is? It was the most random shit. He fell off big time. That's all you got to know, Buckeye. Is that how all Hispanic men eventually turn into? You know?
Yes.
I hope I don't meet that fate because I'm only part Hispanic. You know.
2022 was like a heyday for my channel. My channel in 2023 kind of died.
Mine
Mine
great
did too, but that's
before.
because I didn't upload.
I've been banned like 5 different times. So Great Lakes Politics was banned. Great Lakes Perspective was banned. America First Mapping was also banned. I've gone by so many different aliases, dude.
PLP, the way I found your channel was the Buckeye Politics beef analysis video. That's how I found your channel.
Oh.
When Buckeye was like having beef with Wyatt Tomlin or whatever.
And you made a video.
Yeah, and then he made a video. That's how I found your channel. Was that biggest mistake I ever made? No, I'm kidding.
I was just invited to a luncheon with Tulsi Gabbard by the vice chair of the Milwaukee GOP.
No, you weren't.
Then go.
We'll see. If they give me a free pass, I'll go. But like, I'm not paying like $95. They gave me a free pass to the Kerry Lake event, so I'm not sure if they'll give me a free pass to this one.
I should have went to Trump's event in Minnesota. I don't know why I didn't.
No, that Kerry Lake event was interesting. I met Gabe Guidorini. He was a chill dude.
Was he from Twitter?
No, well, technically, yeah, but he's actually kind of like a big deal.
No, I knew
he does
him
a lot of stuff with TPUSA.
He was like a big contributor to
Toilet
Red
Paper
Eagle
USA.
He made these ideology maps, which were very used.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were very used, not just by LibET, like liberal election people would use them too. Like they were actually very detailed ideology. No, I won't be going to AFPAC. I'm sorry. Like,
AFPAC.
It's in Detroit. I'm not going to Detroit to go to AFPAC.
AFPAC Detroit is crazy.
Come on, Brandon. Stop gaining by like 0.1. He just gained a 0.1 on my screen.
Brandon Herrera, more like Brandon Cringe Herrera.
Brandon Herrera, more like Brandon can't stop gaining more than 0.1%. If Brandon Herrera receives more votes than Tony Gonzalez, Herrera will win, guys.
The video's still up on my old channel. Election YT in shambles? ? The Buckeye Politics Wyatt Tomlin drama explained. The description: noted Democratic wishcaster Wyatt Tomlin has declared war on one of the fastest growing conservative election channels. I will explain the conflict best I can in this.
The fact that Wyatt Tomlin's predictions turned out to be like his house predictions
we all
more
look so
accurate
stupid.
than mine.
We all look so stupid because of that kid.
Tim Ryan from existence, they were all right.
Dude, I'm so mad about I think my final house prediction was like Republicans at 238 or like
the top comment from Election Watch Analysis. I just got nostalgia from seeing that name, dude.
Man, I missed that time, like summer 2022, like leading up to
2021.
Yeah.
Most of these people...
And 2021. 2021 was fun too.
When was Election Watch Analysis last upload? July 2020. What happened to him?
He died, probably.
I miss
Does
Politics
you remember or whatever his name is still upload?
You remember EWA, right, Buckeye?
Yeah.
I miss that guy. Dude, remember AP?
AP, dude, I miss. He came back like a year
He came
ago.
back and
for
then
like
left
2
right
seconds.
before the midterm.
Dude, Boston Zoomer was a Fed.
He claimed
Boston
that.
Zoomer's a Fed, guys.
No, he
claimed
literally
that
was,
his mom-
dude.
Wait, dude,
Wait,
remember when
actually?
remember when he claimed his mom watched Nick Fuentes?
Yeah.
My mom. No, that doesn't happen.
His mom was Hispanic, and he was like, his account was big too on Twitter. It was Caleb Isaac, and he would just shill for Putin. And like Rep shouted him out because he said that he was shifting the Overton window to the right.
That's cursed.
No, but I remember his YouTube channel. He did a 6-hour live stream about the future of every county. Remember that, Buckeye?
Wait, like the future of every county is in the whole country?
Yeah, on how they leaned. It was 6 hours. And he had a bunch of guests. One of his guests' parents were arguing like crazy in the background and like screaming at each other. And he was like,
Okay,
he's
I don't
like-
know. Okay, I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
sure
like,
you
I
guys
was
know who. I'm sure you guys know who Politics Gaming is. Like that one, like libertarian guy or whatever. I don't know.
He's not a libertarian. I know he's
He
a
when he
neocon.
started
He's a
his
he's a
channel,
neocon.
he initially
Neolib.
was.
Yeah.
Dude, PG.
I got recommended his videos like when he first started uploading, and oh my god, his mic quality was awful.
You sure it's Politics Gaming?
I think so.
PG.
What did he upload about?
Hang on.
Does he play Power and Revolution?
Okay then.
I think that's. Is this him? I don't know. This might be.
Send the link.
Never mind. That's not it. It's. Hang on.
Yeah,
trying
Politics
to find-
Gaming. He's this pro-Ukraine YouTuber we know.
I'm trying to find. Hang on. It's his name was like He started off as like a Tulsi Gabbard, Sherrod Brown Democrat, and then he changed to like a Lulbert.
Wait, is his PFP the? What is his PFP the libertarian like?
It was like the
hedgehog?
libertarian hedgehog thing.
I know
yeah.
that guy. I forgot his name. I know that
Dude,
guy.
I watched his channel
the
when he.
Ben guy, right?
What's
Yeah,
his name?
Ben. Ben's
So
election forecast.
Yeah, Ben's elections forecast, something like that.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Ben's elections forecast.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Is this seriously him?
I remember I would watch his redistricting videos back into because he did very good on those videos, like talking about redistricting. He was like my number one source for that because Real American was way too wishcasty. He'd be like, "Here's why every Republican gerrymander will happen, and every Democrat one will be immediately struck down." Real American wishcast is like way too much in 2022. Like, I'm gonna be real.
He
was
still
like-
kind of does. Not as
Not
much,
as
but
much.
still a little bit.
No, you know who the biggest wishcaster is, but he's a chill YouTuber. What's his name? Give me a sec.
No, it's not Ben.
This guy named
it-
On Point Politics.
Oh
he's
yeah,
new.
dude. Yeah, I've talked with him. He like he's a nice guy, but his predictions are like gonna be
He's
so
Trump winning
off.
New Mexico and Maine.
He's like
I
the 3
wish.
Rust Belt states is like likely are. Like he's like they're gonna be like Trump plus 6.
Remember when there was a
The
general
funny thing is,
consensus that Trump was
I
going to win
just-
Wisconsin by like 5?
The funny thing is,
brief
there
time.
could be a non-zero chance he could somehow end up right.
He called into Red Eagle too, and got a bunch
Yeah,
of
and
views
Red
off of
Eagle
that.
calls into him too. Like, but one thing I like about that guy is he streams daily. Like,
Yeah.
he's good on uploads. Like, he's grown super fast.
Yeah.
I wonder, maybe someone should start uploading a bit more than like.
I wonder who we could be talking about.
Here I am completely. Here I
Instead
am. You
of
know,
making a
I have
separate
uploaded
prediction,
less than Buckeye.
Bro made like 2 Senate predictions this year and a couple streams, and like,
Oh, you think that's great? I've made like nothing.
dude, you don't have multiple. You don't have over 1,000
Yeah,
subscribers. That's the difference.
Dude,
that's fair.
the algorithm is probably so screwed for my channel because like I'm probably like so far down now because I never upload.
I remember like in election predictions, you used to come up like 3rd or 4th, and now like it's like I have to go to your channel, my subscriptions list to find it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
fell
make my
off.
own
That's
channel
okay,
called Buckeye Politics. Upload like 6 times a day, and then I'm gonna surpass him in subs in like a week.
Man, I'm looking back at 2022 and my channel was like doing really good. Like, I was getting like 40,000 views a video.
Oh,
and
dude,
now I can barely crack 500.
I just had a Vietnam flashback. Remember the purple predictor,
Oh no. Oh god.
Buckeye?
Yeah, I remember him.
Remember purple political talk and that controversy?
Mm-hmm. Oh, 90% in. Gonzalez is still up by 3. It's over.
It's
Jover.
Jover, yeah. This is gonna be a repeat of the Darren
Herrera
Bailey
can
race.
still win if. I mean, it's mathematically possible, but
Mathematically, if Brandon Herrera gets
Gets
more
every-
votes than
every
Tony
single vote.
Gonzalez,
I swear he's gonna win by like 3 votes, isn't he, Gonzalez?
you know,
You know what?
Did you
This
guys
is
know-
technically within recount territory, so like,
hey, did you guys know that if Brandon Herrera gets more votes than Tony Gonzalez, Herrera will win? I don't know if you knew that.
I love Logan Sato is the most confusing person on the planet. He supports the AFD but thinks Herrera is too conservative. It's like like that is an interesting combination of views.
On Twitter.
Gonzalez is going to win in a landslide. Brandon Herrera is gonna lose.
It's over.
North Star being online made him lose.
What?
Every time North Star's been on a live stream, the cringe candidate won. He needs to be deported.
Yeah,
Back-
well, every time GLP says anything about China, we lose. So.
Hey, you guys wanted
On Twitter.
you guys wanted Moreno to win, and he won on the live stream.
Yeah.
But I talked about. I went on a 5-minute rant about China that one. I only talked about China for a combined like 4.5 minutes this time.
Yeah, well, Moreno was the better candidate, so.
He's cringe. He's a used car salesman from Colombia. I don't trust him to deal with migration. What?
Yeah, and Trump was a billionaire businessman from New
He
York.
wasn't a
so-
used. Look, there's a difference between a New York born and raised businessman and a used car salesman from Colombia. Okay.
So is it the car salesman or the Columbia part you don't like?
Colombia. I just do the used car
Okay, okay.
salesman because it's funny.
I was gonna say he's not even really a used car salesman, but yeah. He owned a car dealership. He wasn't
Maybe
in
I
sales.
should maybe I should just leave early so that Herrera wins.
I'm gonna at 11 o'clock. I'm signing off. It's pretty much over. and I'm done.
I need to shower. I need to work out, shower, and go to bed.
The
So-
West is about to fall.
Texas is literally going to like be screwed.
Dude,
because of this.
that was fun though. Like for a second there, I thought we had a chance.
Watch Herrera takes the lead by 1 vote with 99%.
Hey, the only counties remaining are El Paso and Bexar, and we've seen that Herrera's been gaining in both of them. So
Oh my God, how is Phelan still
every
winning?
other county's
I don't know if
100%
there's
in.
900 raw
Oh, they
votes
caught
out there.
Dade Phelan.
Like
Did Phelan one?
Dade Phelan won with 95% in. He won by 400 votes.
Okay, we got to react to Mr. Bertram sometime in the foreseeable future.
God dang it! And it's because there was a vote dump for Phelan out of Jefferson County, Texas, that like kept his lead. Screw you, voters of Jefferson County. I will never forgive you.
Yes, Mr. Bertram reaction stream.
No gender pronouns in the workshop, okay?
Well, I can't wait for more drunk Dade Phelan clips. The amendment is adopted.
I'll support Moreno if he does what that immigrant did. Okay, that's nice. Mr. Bertram will save the West eventually. No, someone actually made a good point. Like with all those quote unquote culture that Daily Wire is putting out, like who's the second guy? Jeremy Boring. That dude wanted to be a Hollywood like script writer. That was his plan. And the conservative stuff was a backup. So, like, that dude initially wanted to go into Hollywood, and he was denied that. And that's why they're making this culture. They're saying they're making it because they care about the right wing having culture. But it's like, no, you're just creating it because that's what you wanted to do, but they wouldn't let you in because you weren't good enough for, like, Hollywood and shit, you know?
Well, you know,
Oh my god. What the Sigma?
shut up.
Skibbity Riz?
Ohio Skibbity Gyat Tax Phantom Tax Riz.
Yeah, I got a way to close off the stream. Give me a sec, because it was this Trump clip. It was actually this we saw into the.
We all gotta make fart noises to close it out, like usual.
I don't know about this. Okay, give me a sec. Give me a sec. I'll pull this up because this is important. Because I think we can end this. I think we agree that Gonzalez is going to win narrowly.
Yeah.
So give me 1 second. I'm going to get this pulled up. Okay, guys, stop. Stop acting like. What's the generation after Gen Alpha? Like, stop acting like that.
It's fun though.
Gen
Word.
Beta.
Exactly. You see
That's literally what it
real
is.
you see
Okay.
real Sigmas make fart noises.
Yeah, true.
Okay, you got to share this.
All right, 1 second.
Joe, shut up. Joe, you got L Riz, skibbity toilet Riz. You get zero gets. I get so many gets. In Ohio. I was in Ohio just last week.
I like how
got
it can't
so many
pronounce
gets.
Gyat, right?
And then there's your son. I took one look at your son. I said, Joe, he's gay. Your son is gay. Your daughter's dead. She died in a car crash. Tragic, absolute tragedy. But she's dead. El Bozo, rest in peace.
I love America.
Beautiful. All right, thanks for watching.
Why'd you pull this? If we're ending the stream, why did you pull that back up?